everyone, well, at this point, anyone, because I'm starting at such a weird late time. But for those of you that have patiently waited, let me get the Discord message posted and a tweet sent. And then we can take off this manicure, which wore pretty well. And I'm tempted to leave on a little bit longer, except that I am sick of it, and it does have a couple places where it's not exactly chipping, but I'm having some issues, and I'll talk about that a little bit more once there's actually somebody here to talk about it with, which hopefully will not take too long. So, live. Tweet, and then let's do a Discord. Wait, did that? Okay, for a minute, just a minute, I thought I posted an incomplete URL in the tweet, and I was going to need to fix that. So, okay, Discord. Okay, that's done. I'm always paranoid now that I'm going to forget that, because I did forget it once. Hi, Music Owl. Thank you for joining me. It was very recently, actually, that I forgot to tweet in Discord, and when I realized, it wasn't even like during the stream or immediately after stream. It was literally like a day or two later that I realized. Was it the next day or the following, or the evening? I don't remember, but I was like kind of mortified. Hi, Sunburnt. Hi, Stephanie. It was wonderful. I mean, there were some issues. There's always, with events that large, there's always, miscommunications and, weird stuff that goes on. But it was really good. Hi, Lunar. And Sunburnt, before I forget, I love the pictures of your Halloween stuff on Discord. I saw them earlier when I was attempting to get caught up. It's like I feel like I'm such a disorganized disaster right now. I'm not even unpacked. My bag is still stuffed full of all my free stuff and free food, and literally right behind my desk chair is still my my other suitcase not unpacked. Okay, so this was the manicure that I wore on my trip. I still need to actually edit this video. This is what's going to be going up on YouTube tomorrow. And it wore pretty well with a couple of exceptions. Hi, Anne. Actually, let me just adjust this really quick. I want to move this window over here so I can see these things. And I want to move this window kind of over here so I can see these things. And I want to make chat gigantic, because chat is the most important thing. Except for the camera controls, which I need to be able to access so that I can zoom in and show you guys. There. See the light catch it right there? It's not my nail. I did not break a nail this trip. It's like the first trip, and this might be my very first trip where I didn't break a nail. So that is a wonderful thing. But this, and it goes across to the other side too. It's surprisingly hard to show on camera, but hopefully you can see that crack. That showed up like Monday evening or Tuesday. It showed up really early, and it kind of pissed me off, and I don't know what I did to result in the polish cracking like that. But other than that, this wore quite well. me zoom out a little bit. You see, I mean, I don't have any like chips or anything. The dimpling bugged the hell out of me. Honestly, if it wasn't for the dimpling, I probably would leave them on a little bit longer because it's a nice change to the peel off base coat to have a really sturdy manicure. To not worry about like little things. Like generally, of course, I would say like don't pick at things with your nails because it's just not good for your nails. But like for example, there was a point where we had some stickers and I was trying to catch the edge, you know, to like peel up the sticker. And with a peel off base coat, that's the type of thing that might just slip into that little space and pop your whole peely right off. And I didn't have to worry about it. Just little things like that seem kind of silly. Yes, Musical. Because as far as I could tell, I mean, it's at a point where I should be able to see it on the underside, and I don't see any crack in the nail. And it really, the one thing I can say is that even though it's cracked, I didn't have like a bunch of instances where I was catching stuff in the crack. So or the tip didn't chip off. It still otherwise adhered well. Other than the crack. And as far as the dimpling, which is kind of most obvious on my thumbs, you can see I don't have a completely smooth finish. I read up a couple things online. I think it was a combination or of the alcohol that I was using because I kept getting stuff stuck on the sticky layer, or that the stamping polish was possibly not completely dry. So one of my next manicures, maybe my next manicure, I haven't decided yet, and I'm not planning on doing a manicure this stream. I want to use this same polish and the unicorn pigment and just not mess around with the stamping, not need to clean them off with alcohol, and see how the top coat reacts that way before I get like super mad at the top coat like I was doing some extra shit. So yeah, and I mean I've definitely had lots of moments where I've like bent my nail, and in a lot of cases, you know, you have that moment where you think it's broken and then you look and you have a moment of relief, but I don't remember like doing anything that hard that would result in the polish cracking. And actually, I distinctly remember at one point just yesterday bending this nail and like kind of severely, like kind of like, oh shit, like literally last day of my trip and I'm gonna break a nail, please no. And there's no crack in this polish. So I don't know, this is, maybe it had something to do with it, one of the nails that I coated the underside of, because this nail has a little catch, and I forget what was wrong with this nail. Did I have already a little bend? But these two, I did gel on the underside as a protective measure. So, and Amethyst, hello. I don't think I said hello to you. I have to share a couple things. You've had that happen before, Anne. You beat Hornet. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, the Nutcracker Sweet Collection. I think I've seen like a preview collection or a preview picture of that, but I don't think I've seen swatches. It might have been when I was asleep. Dr. Crotron, hello. Or the other thing is sometimes you're just going so busily. The other thing I thought it could have been is sometimes, I mean, my nails are long enough that sometimes they get caught in between things, which sounds absurd also. But, you know, going through security, dealing with those damn buckets and lifting around my suitcase, which wasn't that heavy going out, but which coming back, my suitcase and my backpack, I was having trouble, you guys. I think I'm going to show you guys some of my swag at the end once we've got this off. And I was impressed with my packing skills. I'll put it that way. I was like, how am I going to get all this home? Because I don't check any baggage. So this backpack you can see right here, it's my laptop bag. It's actually from the first summit that I went to, and I use that as my personal item, and I stick my little tiny travel purse in there, and then I just have a carry-on sized roller bag. So when you see what I pull out of here, in addition to what I already had packed as far as like a week's worth of clothes and, you know, pajamas and, you know, medication, hair stuff, makeup. I'm so glad that I was able to fit it all in there, because I didn't want to leave any of it behind, even like little food and snacks that I, you know, swiped at every opportunity. So I'm still kind of riding that whole high from the summit. It's so different from what I do on a day-to-day basis. It's like sometimes I even stop when I'm out there and I'm just like, this is so weird in the most awesome sort of a way. And I hate flying. I think I've mentioned before. And the flight back was a seasoned flyer probably wouldn't even be bothered, but there was like mild turbulence just about the whole entire way back, and I did not enjoy it. So I kind of thought I had a new... I'm going to try and actually get started on some nail stuff here as I continue to ramble, but I thought I had a new nail file somewhere and I can't find it. So I've kind of got a selection of crappy old ones. We can zoom out a little bit more. This isn't like super detailed work that we're going to be doing today, but basically, and it can vary somewhat from brand to brand, but most gel polishes, before you soak it off, they recommend that you break the whatever they call it, the gel seal or the gel case or the top coat, basically, is what they're talking about. And also, the more of the color that you file off, the less you're going to have to soak off. But you need to be super careful. I think in a lot of cases, this is where people end up with damage to their nails at a salon if they get overly aggressive at the buffing point. In my case, especially when using a pigment or like the stamping, it's actually pretty easy, because I'll just go until I see the plain white polish, and then I'll soak it off from there. Sold all your gel polish. Tetris getting them all in the flat rate box. Yeah, those are not very big. It is kind of fun. I had to kneel on top of my suitcase to get it closed, and I was just praying the whole time that the zipper didn't pop. Hi, YoFM. Alright, so... Actually, do I not have... I kind of... Let's use this. Let's see if this... No, this is not a very good one. I wish I had... Okay. I just dropped that, and it's just going to have to stay on the floor. I wish I had a heavier grit file for this, because, I mean, gel polish is pretty hard. That's half the whole point. And these are only like these are all only 180 grit. I swear I had the same problem when I helped my friend take off her gel polish, and I thought in my last Sally's order that I bought a nail file, and I can't figure out where it is, or I forgot, because that's certainly possible. Zoya's come out with a new wider brush. Huh. I like wide brushes. I don't have a problem with the current Zoya brush. And if I'm like not being super detailed, I do have a edited tutorial on taking off gel polish, but like I said, I'm just going to start filing off some of it. And some of this might not be on camera, but I'll try to get back on camera periodically. Actually, maybe if I scoot forward and zoom out a little bit more. Filing is always a little bit awkward on camera, because obviously with your hand flat on the table and at a good angle for a camera is not the way you naturally file your nails. At the same time, how you naturally file your nails is not always easy to get on camera. That's not too bad though, right? Oh, the Zoya wider brush. Yeah, like I don't have a problem with their current brush, but I like wider brushes. Do I have any Zoyas out? I have some on my bed that I moved to make room to record or to stream today. I'm trying to think of how, like, I don't consider their current brush to be like a super skinny brush. Like I said, just be careful. I mean, you have several layers on there, but you don't want to get to the point where you're filing your nail. Um, this is so slow. Okay. I have to take just a minute before I continue to ramble at you guys and see if I can find the heavier one. I may or may not have a lot of boxes hiding just off camera. I've got this. Problem is, I'm not sure where the box that I'm actually looking for really is. I might just use this. We'll see if this works any better than these. You have done the sitting on the bag before. The last time you didn't, you were so proud. I mean, I didn't have to on the way out. No, I feel like this is just going to destroy this and make it not nice for doing my patches. So I don't want to do that. I generally don't care about my normal emery boards because I use them for crap like this. But then the fact I don't use them very often leads to me not having any actual good ones. Took off your Halloween polish last night and it was the same glitter that was just a pain in the past. 30 minutes. Wow. That is a long time though. That is really, it's one of those where you like wait 5 minutes and check the foil and you're like, are you doing anything? And you wait 5 more minutes and it takes so long to just see any progress. And I almost feel like I should have a mask on, you guys, like I did when I was applying the pigment. But I mean, the dust that I'm creating isn't super flying around. It's kind of just making a little pile on my mat here. And you see, I'm really not taking off a ton. In fact, this is doing so poorly that I may just do more soaking than I normally do. Because you can still clearly see the crosses on both of these nails. But you see I've gone through the top coat to a point where it's no longer shiny. And through the pigment to a point where it's no longer pearly. Carry on and bought 5 dresses. 180 should be fine. Yeah, I feel like it's fine. I just feel like it's slow. Plus these aren't like, I mean, you can kind of see this is already a pretty beat up nail file. And I thought I had I don't know. I thought I even had an old one of these, but I don't seem to be able to, or an old one. One that was 180 on one side and like a more grit on the other side, but I can't seem to locate that one either. New brush in the new collections. Don't think they are. So they're just an optional 100 grit. Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, and they look just about the same. I mean, they're the same, you know, flower black, whatever. Well, there are others also, and I think they are mostly intended for stuff like this, not actually, or for filing down. In some cases, like how they file down acrylics, like they sculpt them and then they like a lot. I think they usually use a harsher grit for that, just because again, it's a thing that's so tough that otherwise you would just be there all day. $2 a piece? Is it just the brush, or is it a whole like bottle cap? I feel like $2 a piece for a brush is a little bit much, even for Zoya. Because there are some other places that sell you know, brushes separately, and I can't recall them ever being quite that much. Maybe I just need to improve my technique. This seems to be going good because I'm almost through the cross on this thumb. I'm just not used to being this rough. This is like a foreign thing. See, and there you can see like in the very middle of the cross. Well, okay, again. Zoom, don't go closer. We're through the black, back to the white again. Hello, Orange Juice. Thank you for joining us. Brush and bottle. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. And that's kind of nice. I would say that is maybe unique. Because, like, Bliss Kiss, do I have them right here? I do. Bliss Kiss sells separate brushes because, you know, the latex brushes tend to get gunky. They sell them in a 3-pack, and I want to say maybe the 3-pack is $2. It might even be cheap. Well, now I'm completely doubting myself. But it's a fairly good deal. I've already used one of these, obviously. But they're just, like, pretty basic brushes. They're not what I would consider like super nice brushes. Like they've got a flat bottom. I find it is really nice. That's not the one I was using. This one's better. It is really nice when brushes have a little bit of a curve to the end of the bristles. Can help out when you're trying to get a nice clean edge without having to do too much cleanup. So we'll see. We'll give these a soak and see how we go. And I've got like a long thing of cotton because what am I going to do with all this dust? I should have planned ahead for this. Let's wipe it up with a wet paper towel. Ooh. There we go. I have an industrial sized roll. I bought it when I started my blog. It's the only one I've ever bought. And I don't use very much anymore because I use the peel off base coat, but I still do use some. I mean, as you guys know, a lot of times, even with the peel off, there's a little bit of residue left on the nails and you do need cotton. But I mean, the thing has lasted me years. I mean, my 10-year blog anniversary will be this coming January. Yeah, sunburn. I agree. I never want to get to the point where, being distracted and all of a sudden you're like, can feel it. I can just so easily imagine myself doing that. Or even just accidentally, like, doing damage to the nail bed. So, of course, 100% acetone. Saturate it, slap it on there, and we get our fun little nail clippy doodles. Hey, Caters. Thank you for joining us. And the other thing I like about, like, if you can do this with a regular cotton ball. Like, cotton balls I find to be, they're way too big. You don't need that much cotton for one nail in most cases. And you can unwind cotton balls and end up with something pretty similar to this. But you can, like, if you have tiny nails, you can pick off tiny pieces. If you have large nails, you can pick off large pieces. And I'm not usually like super careful about how large of a piece I rip off. I mean, these are not completely uniform, as you can see. But if you find yourself like, consistently going to the store to buy cotton balls, if you have the space, I mean, it's somewhat of a large box. Go to Sally's, and usually in the back is where they're stored. And this is the kind without the string in it. I don't understand why you would ever want the string in it. But if anybody knows what's up with the string line, please tell me. Reinforced or non-reinforced? Like, why would cotton need to be reinforced? I don't understand. Half off and free shipping. Half off everything or just half off the brushes? Half off everything is really good. So now we're going to sit here. What time is it? It's 3:38. I want to wait at least 5 minutes on this and probably longer because, well, we'll see. Then we'll be messing around with this very carefully. This, it's not sharp like a knife, but it's sharper than an orange stick. If you have them, and I know a lot of people are like scared to use metal tools, and I would almost rather that than you're too casual about it. Yeah, the Clippy Doodles. Yeah, and I want to, I have my nail polish essentials thing linked down to my profile. I want to add these on there. I actually was going to do it just before stream because I was like, oh, it'll be easy. I can just refer people down there if they're interested. These particular ones are sold out. And there's a bunch of other options, but I wanted to try and find like the one closest to this just because, these are the ones I'm most familiar with. And the set that I bought these from, it was like it had a bunch of options. So when I include something that's not the specific one that I personally own, I try to make sure that it's as close to what I'm using as possible. Cut cotton balls into thirds, yeah. Non-nail situations. Half off the brushes if you buy at least 12. I mean, I'm kind of curious about them, but at the same time, I don't know that I want to check them out because my Zoya collection is gigantic, and I suppose I could it's not like I would have to replace all of them. I suppose I could buy a stash and then just replace them as I used each color. But even then, like last week, you guys were here when not last week, 2 weeks ago, when we were doing Grimm and we were just going through all these different colors. I guess maybe I would have to wait. The brushes would become so precious. I would hesitate to use them. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be like those things. They're like they're little rubber things that go on the top of the nail polish bottles, and they've got a cabochon glass thing on there, and they're really nice, and they're supposed to fit on top of any bottle or whatever, but they're like $1 a piece, and that's just not going to happen when your collection is the size that mine is. I like the idea. And once we get around to the swatching project, which you guys, I'm gonna share with you that my goal for that is by the new year. I need to make some firm decisions and just like freaking dive into it. But I want to do 12 Days of Christmas, do justice, and I want to have them ready before it's like Christmas Eve. I don't want to be... I may stream on Christmas Eve, but I don't want to be doing a tutorial on Christmas Eve that needs to be uploaded, in short period of time. I would like to kind of start getting to work on the 12 Days of Christmas this month. And when I've had last week, when I had the tutorial all edited and ready to go and everything was done and it was not a rush situation, that was such a nice feeling. And it's within my power to make that happen more often. I have nobody but myself to blame when stuff is, last minute. This one, I think this one is finally starting to come apart. This one that has a little... Oh, I forgot how far zoomed out we are. You guys can't really see that. But you might remember I talked about it's just a little crack. And this one, I had kind of forgotten about that, but now I can see it. I don't think it shows on camera, even if I were to zoom in. So this is one of the ones I said I painted the underside. The very tip of that came off yesterday. And I think that's when this little crack started showing itself again. China Glaze just changed their brush. Yeah. I don't recall China Glaze's brushes being very good. But not like horrible. I mean, there have been some super horrible one. A Grinch collection. Heck yeah. Luke, hello. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the welcome back. I love that you guys all welcome everybody in. It's so nice. It's such a nice, welcoming, loving community. I missed you guys. Even though I don't always stream like during the week, I felt like I didn't even really have time to keep up with Discord or anything because they keep us going like literally all day long. The so for the YouTube event, the shuttle pickup from the hotel in the morning was 8:30, which like for me is already bad enough, even though like I'm in a different time zone and technically, you know, what time that would be here seems like for most people would be a reasonable time, but for me it's early. And for the Google event, the shuttles were picking us up at 7. Picking us up at 7. Like, oh my god, I'm so not a morning person, and that's the worst part of the whole event. They've got the Grinch on the bottle caps. That's adorable. We're gonna take a look. Wow. That's not much happening there. Come out of here, please, Cotton. Oh no, how am I gonna do this with the things on my hands? Like I can't reach in here to get this cotton out with the things on my hands. There, come here. Ow! Oh my god, it's okay. I suffered pain for moments longer just to show you guys what was causing me pain. So this is the pain in the ass part of gel. And maybe I might need to file more. I mean, this is 5 minutes of soaking, and what do we got going on here? Not much. Like, literally, not much. I'm gonna try and file it some more. That's ridiculous. It's hard now because I can't like hold my other fingers normally now that they've got the caps on them. Is this the good one I was using, or? I guess so. None of them are that great. I feel like I'm being such a whiner about my files here. Yeah. And I think too, I mean, usually I don't have to deal with this because I just use the peel off, but I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like it is a brand thing too, because when I did my cousin or my friends, it came off so nicely. It's like, what brand is this? And I didn't even retain what brand it was. Okay, so I filed off a considerable amount more. You see, I filed off all across. And I've got some places where you can kind of see are more, like in the center, are more transparent. You can almost see there. That's as far as you want to go. It's just about seeing your nail there. Don't go any farther. Sorry. With these damn clips. Let me zoom in again a little bit more. Because you also, I mean, there's also the base coat. So if you see like a little bit almost of nail, it's not quite panic time. It's just stop time, because there is also a layer of the clear. But that's why you don't want to get like super into it. And in salons, when they're using those Dremel looking things, I mean, it's real easy to go too far. I mean, whereas I'm really just doing, what is that, 5 strokes, you have more control. So this is still pretty, no, whoa, I didn't put the cap back on that. That was dangerous, and that was a little more acetone than I actually needed. But I wanted to resaturate it before I reclip it. Okay, let's wipe up some of this. Too much acetone. So my guess is probably most of the others are going to be similar to that. And after this, yeah, your nails are going to be dry. Like, so dry. Crack and peel more than melt. Yeah, it depends. Like when I did my friends, it was seriously one of the most satisfying things ever. It came off like ice cream. It is what it felt like those we saw those rolled ice cream, and they like, and it like, that's what the polish did. It was some ASMR level shit. And that was after only a 5-minute soak in acetone. Like, I thought I might have to, soak it longer, but it really didn't take that long. Trying to find the least worn areas of this file. It's a bit of a challenge. Grinchworthy green and your mean one burgundy. Yeah, that's the other thing too. There's 2 coats of top coats. That's why I want to get down at minimum to the level the stamping is on. Cuz we've got the primer, which kind of doesn't really count, the base coat, 2 coats of white, the stamped cross, a layer of top coat, a layer of pigment, and another layer of top coat. So there is that too. I mean, a regular gel manicure is not going to be this many layers. You're just going to have probably 4, 2 coats of color, base and top. But you definitely need to get through both layers of top coat to really get the acetone where it needs to be. These things really are clumsy, and there are, like, I considered some of the silicone ones, but those look kind of weird and also not ideal, and they were generally more expensive. I think this set was only like, I want to say like $3. It was super, super cheap, and that was the reason I picked it up. And I believe, I think I bought these specifically for gel polish, because prior to that, stay here, little supporty thing. I would just use the tinfoil method, and that's what you can do if you don't have clips. You can just take a strip of tinfoil, cut it into little strips, and like when you take the cotton, just wrap the tinfoil up around your finger. I think I do have like an old video like showing specifically how I do it, because there's a technique to getting a little like packet that will properly stay in place and not get loose or fall completely off your finger. They didn't stay on your fingers. Yeah, I kind of felt like that too. They looked like they would only stay properly if your fingers were exactly the same size. And sometimes I have issues with these too. I mean, you probably see me. Well, you should. I'm on camera. If I'm staying on camera, like pushing them on back onto my fingers. But a lot of that is because I am like moving around a lot doing this other stuff. But they're not. Even these are not like the most sturdy thing on the planet. If you just normally do them and then just sit here, you're not going to have any problem. I feel like they fit pretty well because of the way that they're hinged, so they are adjustable. And then of course there are the ones that are not just like pockets. They're actually little what is the appropriate word here? Like they're little swimming pools for your nails. Oh, my vocabulary has left me, you guys. Anyway, they're supposedly non-leaking, but I find myself so skeptical of that I've never even tried those. And they basically hold a whole, they're filled with acetone. You don't use the cotton. The clip itself is filled with acetone, and they just sit in submerged in that. Plus, I feel like they would be hard to get filled to the right level, and I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, you can get a tinfoil cut just like a paper cut. Oh. I can't imagine having to do this. And I mean, like, most people will wear a gel manicure longer than a week. And I probably would too if I wasn't having a couple little problems with it. But this is too much hassle to go through for me on any kind of regular basis. Especially as off. I mean, I don't want to wear my polish a long time. I don't know. It certainly has its place. But I feel like it has kind of a bad rep because it gets removed improperly so often. And because it is kind of a pain in the butt. Pods. Yes, amethyst. That's an excellent word. KJD, hello. Thank you for joining us. We are having fun times with gel polish removal. I don't know. But I will say this. It certainly is more fun taking it off with people to chat and complain to than it is to just be sitting here all by myself doing this. Because I didn't want to skip stream, but I also don't want to do too long of a stream because I'm still pretty tired. Hotels are not my favorite. I mean, I like, there are aspects of traveling that I really like. I love being able to see friends that I haven't seen since, last year. But there are other aspects to traveling, like flying and hotels, that I just, I can put up with it, but it's like not a fun time. And see, now this is a little bit interesting. Can you guys see? Let's zoom in here before I continue my story. See how it's nice and lifted where the crack is? The acetone was apparently really able to get in there, but it didn't really help us out much. A little bit on this side too, not even as much. So I again find that kind of interesting about the crack, that it cracked, but it still really did maintain its adhesion in every other way. So yeah, the hotels. The first hotel I stayed at was the Hyatt Airport Regency or whatever it's called. And it was okay. I hate the pillows. The pillows are like always an issue. I should probably find a way to start packing my own pillow, but like I said, I barely had room for what I had. And I slept okay. Had a king size bed. Had a lovely view of the freeway out my window. And had a huge bathroom. And then the second hotel I went to was the Santa Clara Marriott. And it was okay, but it was like I kind of was spoiled by the Hyatt, but I felt like I had some valid complaints. The bathroom was tiny. Okay, the door was so narrow, I could not walk through it just straight without like brushing my shoulders and having to turn sideways. You couldn't even open the door the whole way because it would run into the tub and the curved shower curtain rod. And it was the dinkiest little bathroom I've ever seen in a hotel. It was ridiculous. And then I ended up in a room with 2 beds, which, I mean, is not a big deal, except then they're like, what are they, fulls? I refuse to believe they're queens, because they do not feel as big as my bed at home. And I did not sleep very good at that hotel. I did have a much nicer view. I had a view out to the hotel pool. So that was kind of cool. And a little balcony. The thought of removal makes you tired. It is exhausting, especially when it goes like this. We'll see. Hopefully this additional filing and additional soaking and additional time, because I think when I finished the initial work on the pinky, it was like maybe 3:48 or something. So at this point, it's had the initial 5 minutes plus an additional 10 minutes of acetone, and it'll have a little more time while I finish this nail and do the thumb. So hopefully when we take it off this time, we'll be able to make some progress. And then, get to do it all over again. Let's clean up some of this dust. It's starting to look kind of gross. The white and the black together kind of make a sickly gray. And it's kind of funny, every year I drag along my swimsuit, and I've only used it once. I said to everybody, next year we have to commit to having a pool evening, because otherwise I should stop bringing my swimsuit along, because I always need as much. I mean, I pride myself on being able to pack pretty light. I mean, considering my usual borderline hoarder tendencies. Once I did 2 weeks with just the backpack and the roller bag. Oops. Which, that one just completely flew off. Don't reach for things too quickly when you're wearing clippies, apparently. Yeah, I was out there for 2 weeks, and all I had was my backpack and my roller bag, and I managed to pack so strategically, and so I was so proud of myself. I'm obviously still proud of myself for that. But it did feel like an accomplishment, because even 1 week is a little bit of a challenge sometimes, especially knowing that I'm going to have stuff that I'm going to need to bring home. Yeah, I'm always, I hate all of it. I hate the strangers, I hate the lines, I hate the actual flying, but I always count myself lucky that so far I haven't ever ended up next to somebody horrible on the airplane, either a talkative person or a funky person, or somebody with a baby, or there's lots of ways that you can have unpleasant seat companion flying, and I've been really lucky to not have to deal with that so far. The security coming out of Minneapolis on Monday was kind of atrocious. I was in line for, I think, it was over half an hour, I'm pretty sure. Which, it could be worse. I've stood through worse. But, coming out of San Francisco, I always have good luck. I never have to wait for security. The fire went off. Oh no, right after you'd fallen asleep. Someone burned popcorn. Oh my god. Taking nail pics. You gotta get those nail pics taken. A couple times. It hasn't happened in a long time, but a couple times. That is one thing I do like about editing right after I do something, is that if I miss something, I notice and I can rectify it. Unlike a couple times, I've actually taken manicures off and then been oh no, I didn't take my 2-hand shots, or something like that. And at that point, it's well, too late now. You just gotta figure out a way to roll with the punches and have a substitute of some sort. Thermal transition? What is that? I want to, in my head, it's something like when you see the heat waves on a road or something, but I could be going completely the wrong direction. Getting ready for belated Halloween party. Nope, we're still filing and soaking KJD, and then probably filing and soaking a little bit more. Trying to get as much off, even though I hate my files. That I definitely need to do immediately post stream. Let's order some new files. Just to have. Not that I plan on doing a gel manicure anytime soon again, but if I postpone it, then I'll probably just forget about it, and then by the time I do it, I won't have it. Okay. Oh, the transition of the ice. I understand now. That makes perfect sense, and why did I not think of that immediately? Probably because I don't have very many temperature changing polishes. So it's just there. That's better. Let's cross our fingers on this pinky here. I mean, we can see nail. More nail than when we started soaking. Where did I stick my... Oh, there it is. There we go. Like that. Okay, can you guys see this perfect curly Q? Let me zoom in here. Look at that shit. It's so great. That's what my friend's whole manicure did after only a very light filing and a 5-minute soak. That's how I wanted it to be after that first 5-minute soak, but probably I didn't file it enough because like hers was just a plain gel manicure and this is like we were just saying 2 coats of top coat. Hi Julia, my trip was awesome. I've kind of been sharing a little bit as we go along, soaking off this damn gel polish, and might show off some goodies once we finally get this off years later. We're seeing some actual nail here, people. Again, carefully with the metal tool, like these edges, like you get an urge to just like go harder and harder, but you gotta keep some gentleness to avoid damaging your nail. So now we've got a little pile of gel polish. Probably I will give this one more soak, or at least a swipe or two of acetone. I'm trying not to remember to stay on camera here. Some of the edges can be a little bit more stubborn because those are areas it's a little bit harder to file. So you may not have quite filed as much, and the acetone more like came in from the sides of the filed part, if that makes sense. Okay. Progress, you guys. And I'm just going to use that cotton to wipe up some of that polish so that we don't just have a complete mess going on here. Where's my... Oh, there it is. No, neither, Julia. I ended up dealing with it. And in some cases it's okay, and in other cases what it has started doing is the picture gets a little jumpy when recording video. And I didn't even have time to really investigate a new camera, but it is going to have to still be pretty high up on my to-do list. I can maybe get away with waiting a little while, but not too long. Because, I mean, in some cases I'm going to need to record more than minute-long segments. Again, you guys, I feel like I cannot overemphasize enough to be gentle. See, like even right here, I feel like it's lifting, but I feel like it's very stubborn here. And I don't want to force it too much there. See how that came off in kind of a harder... It didn't curl up like the rest of it. Like, that's the kind of situation where... That was kind of borderline. Like, I maybe should have left that alone and soaked it some more. Because that's the kind of situation where you could end up pulling up some of your nail plate. But it looks okay. I mean, my nails look like shit and they're super dry right now. But I will let you guys see them fully transformed before we're done. I'm not going to cut stream with them looking like this because, I mean, at this point they almost do look damaged. But I don't think they are. There's still some residue here. I think some of it is even primer residue. And, but I think they're looking pretty good considering. And of course the acetone itself is super, super drying. Clean up there. Hi, Dino. Yeah, that's what I'm probably thinking, Julia. And there was a point where I was really looking because I felt like I should upgrade even though I didn't want to. And I had kind of narrowed it down to a couple. And I'm wondering if I saved any of those like searches or like, favorited any of that stuff when I was looking. But I really do like the one that I had before this one was also a power shot. And that one, I mean, if this one dies, then that's going to be kind of funny because that one is actually still in use. My mom is still using that one. In fact, it was the reason I was kind of hoping this might fix itself is that Canons kind of seem to be known for that. Or even in my own experience. I forget exactly what it was, but my mom said to me, she goes, when are you going to upgrade your camera so that I can have your camera? And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I'm not upgrading just so that you can upgrade. And the reason she wanted it is because she was having a problem. And I said, I have no plans of upgrading anytime soon right now. If you need a new camera, you're going to have to buy one. And then I asked her like a while later, I was like, so what are you going to do about your camera? She said, oh, it's not doing that anymore. It's fixed itself. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not holding out hope of that. Although I did not try my drop it on the ground, like a carpeted ground, not like cement. Drop it on the ground and see if that jiggles whatever is in the wrong place back in position. I mean, what do I have to lose at this point? Well, I suppose I have its remaining functionality to lose. The scraping is scary. Yes, Dino, I have been consistently telling people to be very, very careful. Like, don't force it. This is, I mean, I hope I'm showing that I'm not exerting a lot of force. Like so if I just go like this is just touching it. Give it just a little bit more pressure than that. Like what you would use to scrape away dead cuticle. Little bit more than that. But not much more. Because you don't want to damage your nail. In fact, maybe I'll show you guys on my thumb here. I think it would help to illustrate. I will do that. I'll show you in just a second here. See there's the, gotta be careful there. That's where the, see the break or the crack. But my nail didn't break. The gel held it for a week. We'll repair that. We'll repair that on stream. So that I don't have to be too worried about it and don't forget to repair it. That makes me happy to see though. That makes all this worth it. Because that is definitely worse than when I applied the manicure. But the gel polish held it and kept it from breaking. And I don't think I could have counted on a regular manicure to do that. Because this is the nail that was cracked. Or the nail that had the cracked polish. And I don't think it was quite exactly in line with this crack. Because you see this crack is pretty close to the free edge. And that crack in the polish was more like kind of halfway up the free edge, I think. I am Dino. I super am. I'll show you guys with just an orange stick. I prefer the metal tool just because it's like a little bit... It's like a little bit more of a step up, but I'll show you that you don't... I mean, I think you guys all know that obviously a wooden orange stick is going to be more gentle than the metal tool. See here? You can do it with the orange stick too. It's not quite as satisfying. I'm not getting those nice little perfect curly cues. And that's partly because my nail tool, can you see it in the light there? Has a slightly sharpened beveled edge. Like I said, it's not knife sharp, but it's sharp enough that you need to be mindful what you're doing. And I'm used to it. I use it all the time. This is what I use to like do my cuticles and stuff. So I know what level of pressure is safe to apply without damaging my nail. And I can apply that pressure to scraping off this polish. Like that. Okay. We're almost half done, you guys. Like I said, I think these could maybe use at least a swipe down. I might wait until I do the other hand, though. And I'm guessing I may need to redo the patch on the other index nail also. Oh. Oh, I'm missing all kinds of things, and apparently Ninja's here. I feel like PowerShot stick with that one even if it's a newer version. Yeah. My friend Tex was trying to convince me to go with a GoPro. Did I say hello, Ninja? I said Ninja's here, but I don't know if I actually said hello. Hello. Hello, chicken friend. I feel like I haven't seen everybody in so long. I did manage to pop into Dr. Crotron's stream on Monday, and I think I popped into Jerry's stream briefly on Tuesday, but they really keep us so busy. Pog. Yes, it's FFZ is an extension that lets you see additional emotes to what Twitch has available. And for the longest time, I didn't understand that either because there's also God, what is the other one? BTTV, which does the animated ones. Oh, I have to interrupt myself here. Look what we have going on here. So there's that. Guess it's a good thing I did decide to take this off today, because apparently this nail done had it. Is this whole thing gonna come off? I shouldn't be doing this, you guys. I'm a horrible example. Don't do this. It's coming off though. Okay. So that literally just happened. I just felt, and like I said, that was the one that the underside part had come off yesterday. And it's the one that has a little crack right there. So I think that crack allowed, water and stuff to infiltrate. See if I can get this little piece right here to... There we go. Come here. Get off of there. A little bit of clear on the underside. So I think that crack allowed stuff to get in there and completely weaken that bond. That's I was literally about to pick up the file and start filing on my right hand. I should have an FFZ command. Yeah. Thank you. Ninja, you're so many steps ahead of me. Well, some of it I actually cannot tell you because we are under NDA, but some of it is like feedback and brainstorming, and some of it is like, I don't want to say lectures, but like presentations from people that work on the products. Yes, and exactly. Thank you, Luke. And it's surprisingly creepy. His mouth looks normal in PogChamp, but in Pog, it's like a weird kind of... like the lips just, I don't know. It looks so weird to me. But it is free. Is it just Chrome? Can you do FFZ in other browsers? I should know this. Yes, and I don't think I did too much damage. I hope I didn't. Well, and part of the reason I did it and I wasn't too worried is because this nail does have a gel patch on it, so it doesn't look like it peeled up the gel patch also to get to... I'm completely off camera. I forgot how close I was. It doesn't look like it peeled up the gel patch to the nail underneath. I might have done a little bit of damage right there because that's below the gel patch, but the whole tip is patched. And I'm going to need to soak that off before I can fix it. You put on a Band-Aid to stop yourself. Yeah. Well, and gel is particularly bad because, and I've told the story before, my friend was chewing hers off and I stopped her and soaked it off. And once I was done, it was so obvious the ones that she had picked versus the ones that I had soaked. That's why you can't use a peel off base coat. Yeah, sometimes it really, especially if you feel that little catch that I showed you on this one, but with peel off base coat, I mean, you're gonna get the whole thing. Ho to make YouTube not shit. So, if you can still keep your nails. It is true. I would prefer people peel their polish instead of their nails. So let's see, what can I say about the main part that I really love about going out there. I mean, the presentations are well, hopefully they're interesting. I'm bad about sitting and listening. It needs to be really, really interesting to keep me from having the long blink, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you realize you're only listening and you're not looking because you forgot to open your eyes when you blinked. Not because you're bored, just because it's hard to fucking just sit there. For me, and I gotta be really careful now because we're going left-handed, and I need to be particularly careful on this nail because I don't want to accidentally be... In fact, we're awful damn close here. There's no way I'm gonna be able to stay on camera. I don't want to accidentally be filing the part where it already peeled off. I'm trying to just file the part that's still remaining there. Yeah, so hopefully the presentations and stuff is interesting, but the best part is seeing the friends that I haven't seen in person since last year. Like, we see each other on the forums. We do have some video chat hangouts a couple times a month usually, but not everybody can make those, depending on their schedule. And so it's just nice to be able to see people in person and hang out. Oh, you did peel off some of your nail music. Owie. I feel the sympathy winces because sometimes when you do it, like, you do it. It's like, feels like a breeze is blowing on your nail or something, and you're like, shit, I just did something I should not have done. You can in Firefox. That's good to know. I did not buy so many things. I got a lot of swag. But no, I really didn't. I don't do... Well, for one, I didn't have much time to do, like, touristy things. Usually, I'll do an extra day or two, but I didn't really want to this year. It's an expensive thing to do, and, you know, like I've kind of talked about before, it's not that I'm broke. It's just that, like, what I'm saving would have been what I'm spending would have been my savings, and I would have felt kind of guilty to just be, like, frivolously, unnecessarily spending money that I kind of don't really have. I mean, I have it, but it's supposed to be savings, not for just, like, spending around on souvenirs that I don't need. But I got a lot of free swag, so much so that I almost could not close my suitcase on the way back, and so much, like, free food and snacks and candy. The whole Google and YouTube culture, and for anybody that, like, does not know what I'm talking about, I've just been in California for the last week. The first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, was a YouTube event, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was a Google event. And not specifically for my channel, but because I contribute on their help forums as part of the Product Experts program. So once a year, they get together, a summit or a meetup, they call it different things, in person, and for like a couple days, and get to do shit. Because apparently we were nowhere near we're about as close now as we were when I was in California, Ninja. Do you not understand how large California is? Wow, Moon Bandit, the timing, Moon. And your Hogwarts costume was adorable. Everybody that posted Halloween stuff, thank you so much. I like to see it, even though I was seeing it after Halloween. But yeah, I was talking to Dr. Crotron and he was saying I think I was like 6 hours away from Moon Bandit, so no. Because Dr. Crotron was saying I was like 2 hours north of him and Moon Bandit was like 4 hours south of him or something. California is huge. It's like when my friend was living out there. That must have been 2 years ago. And I did the event and we were like, oh, maybe while I'm out there, I could see you. And we discovered that it would have been closer when I was in Minneapolis and she was in Duluth compared to where we were compared to each other in California. This is so awkward left-handed. I mean, I can do things left-handed, but this in particular feels fucking awkward. I'm like stretching my back too. Yeah, I mean, how long does it take to drive from like the top of California to the bottom of California? And SoCal isn't even necessarily like the total bottom. Like, where does SoCal start? Because there's SoCal and NoCal and MidCal. I don't know. All the different Cals. About 16 hours. And Dr. Crotron be driving a lot, so I'm going to take his word for it. Plus, you know, he's a doctor, so he's pretty smart. I mean, compared to, like, most states, that's ridiculous. You're not close just because you're in California. And I was around, like, San Francisco area. YouTube is in San Bruno. Google's main campus is in Mountain View, but the place we were at was actually in Sunnyvale. And, like, the YouTube event, the first night... Usually, so the way it usually goes is, like, the first day you come in, it's a travel day or whatever, and there's usually, like, a welcome reception type of dinner, mingling sort of event in the evening. Then a day or two of presentations and stuff. And then maybe a travel day. That's how I've liked it in the past. Or sometimes a half day of presentations and stuff and then travel. So the first night, the event actually was a circus theme, which sounds cool, but we all agreed was kind of like unnecessary. Like, we're not, this isn't a kid's birthday party, you know? Like, we're not here to watch the Stilt Walker. We're here to hang out and have a few drinks and hopefully have some good food. So, like, while it was cool, it was, no Christmas box? Well, Ninja, it's November. Bach, please, no Christmas emotes until December. And the food that night was decent. I have to say that overall, the food at the Google event was better than the food at the YouTube event. But both of them had some hits and some misses. And then my one friend wasn't too impressed with the food. There wasn't enough meaty options for him. There was one, like, pulled pork slider, but he was like, it's got coleslaw and shit on it. I don't want that. And his little slogan was, no meat, no eat. So after the party, he wanted to go get something else to eat, and there was a restaurant right down the street, so we went and hung out down there for a while. And then the next day, we had presentations and stuff most of the day. We ate breakfast and lunch in the cafeteria, the YouTube cafeteria. And all their cafeterias and stuff are usually pretty nice. I mean, they have real food and good food and different food. It's not the same thing like every day. So that wasn't too bad. And then the evening event, I don't know if any of you guys that are in California may or may not be, well, or people that have just visited. Oops. What? I don't know what happened there. Go over here. May or may not be familiar with the Exploratorium. They rented out the Exploratorium for our evening event. And that was pretty freaking cool. It's full of just like it's a museum, but it's like full of just cool stuff, like a tornado machine, a marble course made out of toothpicks, all kinds of stuff. 12-ish hours if you're on I-5. So, okay, what did I eat at the first? Okay, the first night, complete food recap as much as I can recall. The first night they had a station that was, and sometimes people complain because there's always a lot of vegetarian options, but I'm like, they send out questionnaires asking you what dietary restrictions you have when you register. I said there must be enough vegetarians to rate having this many vegetarian options, because there's always a ton of them. I should have known that we'd have to do an in-depth food reconnaissance. So they had two kinds of sausage. One was like regular sausage and one was like vegetarian sausage. And then they had like a vegetarian burger patty, and then they had the pulled pork sliders, which the pulled pork was some of the really good pulled pork, but like the little bun was not awesome. So, and I wasn't a huge fan of the coleslaw on it either. Like the whole coleslaw on a burger thing, I guess I kind of can get it, but it's not quite my thing. So what I did was just open it up and then eat the pulled pork with a fork, and get one of the hot, fresh, soft pretzels that they had available as my bread portion. They also had like some, at first I thought they were like some large, gigantic French fries, but everything's usually like very well labeled. It'll have like the name of the dish, and then it'll have like all the ingredients and any allergens. Which when there's as much food around as there is at YouTube and Google, is important, because you never know what allergies people have. But they were little fried strips of zucchini, which I dig. I thought they were delicious. And then they had this salad station, but I thought it was a really cool idea. They had this section of mason jars, which are like, moderately sized, like with lettuce in them. And then they had all these different salad toppings, so you could fill up the mason jar with whatever you wanted to make a little custom salad with whatever, shred carrots, a couple different kinds of cheese, different kinds of dressing. And then the dessert station, which had 4 different kinds of mini cheesecakes, which I tried all 4. Let's see if I can remember the flavors. And then there was also like some brownies and ice cream topping. Coleslaw is very controversial. It's like, I hate cilantro, Moon. Coleslaw's trash. I like coleslaw on the side, just not necessarily. I ate one with the coleslaw on it, and then the next one I was like, I don't think I want any more like that. Percent of you saw coleslaw. What? Then just busting out the wait, it's the onion. Isn't the onion the one that's all fake? Yeah, and that's the other thing, Musical. Like, coleslaw could cover such a wide range of shit. It's like, you can't just be like, I hate coleslaw, because, well, maybe the coleslaw you're talking about isn't anything like the coleslaw that I'm talking about. So the cheesecakes, one was like a caramelly dulce de leche type of a thing. One is tasting soapy cilantro. It's not that it tastes soapy to me. I've heard that also. I just don't like the flavor. It doesn't taste like soap. It just tastes nasty. Regular cheesecake with like a berry thing on top. One was super chocolatey and fudgy, and the fourth one. I wonder if I took a picture. Caramel, berry, chocolate. Shit, you guys, I don't remember what the fourth flavor was. Anyway, and one of the things that I usually complain about is that they always have a bunch of beer and wine, which are not my favorite things. And I really miss the years when they had a full bar. So this year, most of the events had like a mixology table where they had a couple of like mixed drinks, like big, not kegs, like urns, big urns of pre-mixed drinks, and then they would, dispense them out. And I appreciated that because I like vodka if I'm going to be drinking, which I don't usually, but socially helps me to be a little bit less awkward and a little bit more actually social. This almost looks like it could. It does. It's got a lift. Do you guys see right here? No, I'm not gonna. Oh, the urge. Okay, I'm not. I want to peel it so badly. I want to peel it. Coconut is the devil. Sunburned. Coconut is delicious. Coconut water. Okay, on the way. Damn it. Coconut water is delicious with some like sugar and flavor added, or at least some sugar. Because I accidentally bought unsweetened coconut water at the airport on the way home yesterday, and I cracked it open and I was like, but I like things super, super, super sweet. What? Peach? Wait, coconut fibers are able to break out in a wrap. Well, if you're allergic from them, or if you're allergic to it, then that's one thing. That's like I always talk shit about tree nuts. Food glitter. It never quite goes away. You'll be chewing it for ages. No. Well, it depends on the kind of dried coconut, Musical. You're allergic to coconut too, Caters. Dag it. Hello. It was wonderful. I had a great trip. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Hold on here. I'm just noticing there's a little... Oh, it's not going away. There's a little spot on the lens. Sorry. I'm just watching what it looks like. There. Is that... It's still there. What the hell? I'm going to need to get like a little tiny squirt of something and clean that. Where is it? Now I see it. Or do I? Oh, well, okay. I can't allow that to distract me. We got a lot more filing and shit going down here. You would eat glitter before you would eat coconut. Wait, what did Moon post here? Wait, what is that? That's not coconut. Is it coconut? Wait, what? Where's the description? What the fuck is that? If that's coconut, my mind is blown. Oh, peach. Is it peach? No. Moon, what is that? Oh, pickled pork skin. Wow, when did I miss the conversation on that in the chat? Pickled pork skin. What is the other stuff? Whoa. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Oh. I'm Oh, now I see. Oh, and sauerkraut. Kimchi. I don't like any of those. P.S. by the way. I mean, I'm not completely shocked or disgusted because one of my dad's favorite snacks is pickled pig's feet. So I'm sure he would be down for some pickled pork skin. I don't see why not. It's not of a texture that I find something that I want in my mouth at all. Of it all. It just... Clamato? Isn't that like clam tomato juice? And how do the Tostitos not get soggy? And what is chamoy? I'm so confused right now. Peter Pepper picked a peck of pickled pork skin. Ninja, this is nothing. I'm not gonna like say it, but is it worse than that thing that you asked us about and asked if it was weird? Since you apparently agreed with me and thought it was a little bit weird, I don't think this is weird that much. I just think it's nasty because it's all made up of a whole bunch of stuff that I wouldn't eat on its own, let alone all mixed up together. But I don't expect to like the same food as other people, and that's fine. Wait, if it's just tomato juice, why is it called clamato? Clamato. Clam and tomato is what it looks and sounds like to me. If it's just a brand name, why the fuck would you put clam in your brand name and fool people into thinking your shit's full of clam juice? Okay, raise your hand in chat. I don't know if there's a hand raise emote if you thought clamato was clam and tomato. We've all learned something new today, you guys. Clamato is apparently just tomato juice. Or Moon's fucking with us. Not that that would ever happen. Oh, the filing. I'm so sick of the filing. And I was tempted to like start clipping my nails as soon as I was done filing, but then they're just sitting here so awkwardly. But it would save time. I'm gonna clip them now. Let's peel off some cotton. I'll deal with the awkwardness. Press F for clam. For shrimp cocktails and stuff. Pretty sure Clamato has clam juice in it, huh, Luke? Wait, what? No! Wait, we're right. Moon Bandit misled us all. Oh, you guys. The conversations we have. Okay, it's 4:41. I say we want to give these suckers at least 10 minutes as we continue working on the other nails. Your hubby likes it. Yuck. Yeah, gaslighting. Well, she was like... Wait, okay, so here's really the question, though. Moon posted that picture. Do you even eat that, Moon, or were you just posting that to mess with Ninja? Clamato and... Wait, what? Ninja, that... Okay, the only way that could be grosser is if it was a less neutral cereal, because Cheerios are pretty meh, whatever. Like Clamato and Frosted Flakes would probably be really a horror fest. Tomatoes are not good. I wouldn't go that far, because I mean I can do like a tomato spaghetti sauce. But like as far as like raw tomatoes or people who like will snack on actually a tomato, we got so sidetracked here, you guys, by the way. Like I didn't even get past my first day's dinner before we got sidetracked into Clamato and pickled pig skin. That was my stomach. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm drinking tea. I don't know what its problem is. Oh. Italian, you know, that actually doesn't sound horrible, Caters. And I'm also certainly not opposed to like an Alfredo sauce or even just like butter on noodles. But there is something particularly satisfying and delicious about just traditional spaghetti with traditional like red meat sauce. It's so like I'm hungry. I am. Fucking gel polish. Taking hours of my life away when I could be eating pasta. Oh. Wait, did Moon answer me if she actually... She used to eat it before she was vegetarian. Yeah. Oh. Tomatoes can taste very different. I do know that. My mom used to grow several different varieties of tomato in the garden every year. And raw tomato versus cooked tomato and all that. Nesquik is chocolate. Chocolate on noodles is blowing my mind. Pesto, okay, but a lot of pestos, got to be careful. A lot of pestos have tree nuts in them, and I can't do it. Also, no to hot sauce, Luke, because I'm a wimp as far as anything hot. Can't do it at all. Okay. Cotton. Oh my goodness. You sound like you're considering the one with beer sunburn. Like, well, maybe that wouldn't be too bad. I could see making like a pasta sauce out of the clamato. Clamato. How are we supposed to pronounce this horrible thing? And this one, since we did already, this nail here, since we did already have some peeling action, we're just working on this last part. When we soak this off, this will also soak off the existing gel patch and get it ready for a repair, which we'll do after all the gel is taken care of. I wasn't tempted, Dino. I was not tempted. Yes to hot sauce. I feel like most people want hot sauce. At YouTube, they had like 8 different hot sauces lined up. I suppose a lot of people like it with their eggs for breakfast. Yeah, and here we are somehow back to what I ate on my trip. So breakfast was at the YouTube cafeteria, and there was eggs and sausage, and what else was there? There was like a vegetable of some sort, and then they have like a salad bar, and then they have like usually steel cut oats, some really good orange juice. I am kind of picky about orange juice, and I quite enjoyed the orange juice that they had available. Then for lunch, we were back in the cafeteria. What was there? There was some kind of roasted thing. There was pizza. Again, salad bar stuff and like fruit. One thing I don't like is depending on the cafeteria, like some of the cafeterias don't have any unhealthy drinks. So no like soda or anything with sugar in it. Even like they had like a berry tea brewed, and I had known from before it was unsweetened. So I had to like try and get some sugar to dissolve in there. Or they'll have like that nasty unsweetened bubbly water. And if you like that, I apologize, but it's nasty. Well, I don't know what I'm apologizing for. I'm entitled to my opinion. I can't stand that shit. We're gonna go with this because I'm nervous to overfile this one because, like I said, I don't want to file on my nail, and it's kind of difficult to just stay on that little spot. Wait, you would try what? Oh man, the chat is just going. Black death shots, half soy sauce, half. I literally gagged a little bit. Why would you do that? Soy sauce is too salty. Usually I say I would try just about anything once, but I don't think I could swallow that. I don't think I could literally actually, uh-oh. Now my mousing hand is almost completely full of clips. I've got to reach over and mouse with my other hand. I'm going to be unable to be scrolling up for chat for a minute. Raspberry tea is delicious. Oh, sunburnt. Oh, my grandma always has some in the fridge. And sometimes I get fooled because sweetened bubbly water is the shit. It's awesome and delicious. Okay, I'm not even going to try and get this on camera. I apologize. Thumb's already awkward, let alone with my non-dominant hand. Spoonfuls of mayo? Dino. I mean, I don't hate mayo. I just feel like that's something that if I had a whole like a mouthful, like, I don't feel like I'd be like, I feel like I'd be like, you know, mayo is used in small quantities, like on a sandwich or like in tuna salad. Just the sound, maybe the sound of the cat, of the cap. Beanie used to be like that a little bit. He was scared of bottles in general, and I kind of, mostly I think, trained him out of it. He is here, by the way. He's just not in his chair. I tried to leave him room if he decided to come down there, but he's snoozing on the bed. He's still recuperating a little bit. Yeah, apple flavor. Like bubbly water just by itself with no flavor, that's also super, I don't consider it nasty necessarily. It's just weird to me. Like, why do you just want to drink bubbly water? Like, if I drink water, I just want cold, like ice cold water. Not bubbly water, not room temperature water. No, I do not look. Okay, now the first thing with that statement, Dino, is I do not apply mayo to a sandwich with a spoon because I don't need that much damn mayonnaise. I use a knife, and I use just enough to put like a very thin coating, very evenly though, on the bread. Like there should not be enough mayo for it to move when I bite it. That gives you an idea how much mayo I want on my sandwich. If you have enough mayo that you bite it and there's like mayo coming out the side of your mouth or the side of your sandwich, Jesus, C0W. Or maybe it's supposed to be Jesus Cow, which seems a little bit irreverent. Hello and welcome. Thank you for the follow. Miracle Whip, yeah, that's one of those things. You're either Miracle Whip or you're Hellmann's. To secure the toppings, half an inch of mayo. Oh my god, no. Miracle Whip is what is it? It doesn't claim to be mayo. It's Miracle Whip. It knows it's not mayo. I can't. I've had it, but not often. I can't quite think of the taste of it. It's different than mayo, though. You would like bubble water if it didn't assault your throat and had sugar. Sandwich is like a pill. Yum! That makes me want it more now. Not. Both mayo and Miracle Whip sunburnt. That's a controversial statement right there. I think. For some people, I mean, like I said, you could like whatever. This is a food safe zone, you guys. You can like whatever food you want, but I can and will tell you if I think it's nasty. Because I'm a very opinionated food person, and I know it. I'm very well known among friends and family of picking shit out of food and of eating food in weird ways. Like, okay, is it really weird when you're eating a Pop-Tart to kind of split it in half and save the frosted half and eat the non-frosted half separately? I don't think so. Miracle Whip is chip dip. No. Not without like a bunch of other stuff up in there. The Miracle Whip. Yeah. But I mean, I can't believe it's not butter. It's trying to be butter. I don't think Miracle Whip is really trying to be mayonnaise. Pizza in a... Why? Why? You know, on the subject of dipping, now I'm skipping ahead, but on the Wednesday event, one of the mixology drinks, which also had like a little ball of liquid nitrogen. Well, it's not liquid when it's a little ball, but like solid nitrogen, liquid, the stuff that liquid nitrogen is made out of that's cold and it steams. And it had a chunk of, like a half a ring of dried pineapple. And then that half a ring of dried pineapple soaked up all the pineapple juice and vodka. Oh my God. It was so delicious. You can't believe they believe we'd believe it's not butter. Tomato and mayo. Not me. But now, I'm probably going to get it wrong. It's either my mom or my grandma that will wax eloquently about butter and sugar sandwiches. Wait, it was a comment about the Pop-Tart. I missed it. OCD. I do have some OCD tendencies, Dr. Crotron. I figure as long as they're not impacting my life, like I don't have to lick every step before I go upstairs, I can have a few ticks. It's okay. We're all weird. Like I told Moon the other day. If you're not weird, I'm not sure. I used to have a shirt that said "Normal people worry me," and it does. Cause what the fuck is even normal, really? If you're weird and you think you're normal, that's weird. But if you think you're normal and you don't think you're weird, that's also a little bit weird. Cause what do you think normal exactly is? Because it's probably not actually normal. It might be average. That's something people get confused often, I think, is normal and average. I'm sick of filing, you guys. Let's put on a cap here. Chipotle powder, something, ketchup? Chipotle isn't super hot, right? I feel like that's not my favorite because nothing peppers is my favorite. But I feel like it's not like a horrible thing. Alright, all clippied up here. Butter and sugar, yes. Yeah, no, okay, so butter, oh wait, let me catch up with chat since I can't scroll comfortably right now. Saltine crackers with thick layer butter. Yeah. Yeah. Toast the bread, add butter, then add sugar. Hell yeah. Especially maybe a little bit of cinnamon too, Moon. So in my family, butter is a thing. If we're having like a meal and there's butter on the table, there's two butters because there has to be a hard butter and a soft butter. And I don't get hard butter because it fucks up your bread. You're trying to spread it on the bread and the bread is ripping. The butter needs to be soft enough so you can get the nice, smooth, even butter application. But it's like, if you like hard butter, that's fine. My mom and her sister and my grandma, put on butter thick enough. I always tease her. It looks like a little slab of cheese on there and you bite through it and you can see the teeth marks because the butter's so fucking thick and hard. Fairy bread, but that has butter and sprinkles. And actually, did I say it was 4:41 when I did the pinky? So that means pinkies had like 15 minutes. So we could probably give that a try. Smoked jalapeno, so it depends what you consider hot. See, I'm a wimp. I'm a complete spice wimp. Somebody be like, oh, this isn't hot, and I'll put it in my mouth and I'll be like, I can, and especially if there's a little bit to mellow it out a little bit, whatever, rice or sour cream or something. I can do a little bit of heat, but I recognize my wimpiness. And both my parents love spicy stuff. I'm the only one in my family kind of that doesn't like spices. Don't let the hard butter scare you, Dr. Crotron. I like it to just spread nice. Whatever I'm applying on my bread or whatever, I like to be able to spread it. It needs to go all the way to the edges. My coat has to be kind of like evenly gorgeous. And hard butter, that's just not a thing that's possible. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. And this will show you again. Be careful with your metal tool, as I've said before. But okay, so I'm now wielding the tool left-handed on my right hand, so I'm not very coordinated, and I'm certainly not applying very much pressure. You just want to help the gel polish to flake off. You're helping it along on its journey off your nail. You're not damaging your nail. Be patient, be gentle. And oops, pulled that right off. Don't be afraid to soak it more. I was getting a little impatient, but I'm not gonna sacrifice my nail health for my impatience. But yeah, 15 minutes was pretty good. See, now here I'm getting a little aggressive. But not too aggressive. Because sometimes if you can just catch a little edge there, you can get it to pop off. But you see how that was not as easy as most of the rest of the stuff. I mean, I almost feel silly calling it polished at this point because it's like it's not. It's like this weird crumbly stuff. I mean, it is still polished, of course, but I've dyed it so the cats don't lick it before dinner. Blazed Doritos. See, I don't even know how hot those are because one time I got spicy nacho instead of nacho on accident, and even those were too hot for me. I'm assuming Blaze is even hotter than that. Dino. You're the only one. Poor Moon. Poor Moon. Your family seems weird in a completely different way than your weird, Moon. I feel like you're always saying you're the only one in your family to do whatever. There we go. That came off nicely. Oh. Trying not to lose the other clippies while I'm working on this here. That's interesting. This is like the same corner. I wonder if I didn't have the cotton ball applied completely evenly. Sometimes that's a thing too with these clips. It's kind of hard to see. There you can kind of see a little bit. I fold the tip over like under my nail to kind of help it have even pressure. Because if it's uneven, then it'll have uneven pressure on the cotton on your nail. And then you end up with situations like this. There we go, though. That also popped off. Not quite as crumbly, but it had lost a lot of its adhesion. And that's part of it, too. Like, once you have done the filing step and you put the acetone on there, it's going through, but it's also, like, going to the sides. Because, like, you haven't done an even filing job. So if it gets to your nail plate, then it starts spreading out to the sides. So something that may have been thick enough that it wasn't fully dissolved on the top may have had enough coming in from the sides that it's loosened its hold, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Smell the food coming through the house. You know it's hot when you can smell the heat, when you smell it and like the inside of your nose feels hot. Sweet chili Doritos are vegan? Wait, are most Doritos not vegan? Are they fried in animal fat or something? Oh, I should clean up all this gunk. Keep a clean work area. Oreos are supposed to be vegan too. I suppose to be vegan they can't have butter. Which, I mean, you would think most cookies would have butter. So what do they have in there instead of butter? Oh, so satisfying when it comes off nicely. I should have zoomed in again. Let's do that right now. We've still got a couple nails left. I forgot. I'm sorry. Where are we? Like maybe one more. There we go. Buffering. Am I dropping? I only dropped 234 frames, which is not too much. Let me do this one now and then I'll see what my Twitch status thingy says. Or if you're on mobile, I almost consider it normal. Even if I'm doing good and Twitch is doing good, mobile could be doing piece of crap. Is anybody else? Sunburnt got buffering. Dino. Caters is on her phone. Wait, which flavor Starburst is the best? Anyone that's not cherry? The pink one sucks. Musical. No, that's the strawberry one. Pink is possibly the best. Strawberry and orange are the best. Oh. You're eating them now. Lemon is okay. Cherry is gross. Of course, there's also, you spicy people. I, at one point, bought a hot and sweet bag of Starburst, and they had stuff like Flamin' Mango. It was really kind of delicious. It was kind of almost at my limit of spice, because like I said, I'm a spice weakling. But it was really interesting. Cherry, lemon, orange, strawberry. That's like the exact opposite of me sunburned. Skittles are better. Skittles are delicious too. Man, I haven't had any Skittles in a while. Of course, I prefer like the non-original flavors. But the original flavors are okay. They're not like bad, but given a choice, I would probably pick like tropical or something like that. Yeah, I'll see if I can. I wonder if I can remember the exact name of them. I'm not confident that's the. Let's see, do I still? Sweet Heat, Flamin' Watermelon, Orange, Strawberry Mango, and Pineapple. Well, Flamin' Watermelon, Flamin' Orange, Flamin' Strawberry Mango, Flamin' Pineapple. Sweet Heat. That little sneeze, if anybody heard it, was Beanie. I think he has something stuck in his nose. In my experience, I mean, cats can catch colds, but in my experience, usually when they're sneezing, it's because they've managed to get something stuck in their nose. Like Frisky, one time I remember, was sneezing and sneezing for days and days. And then I saw just this little something like sticking out of her nose, and I grabbed it and pulled out about like a 4-inch long piece of grass. The unwrapped minis. I haven't. Oh, disappointed. They all taste like plastic. I bet when they're all unwrapped together, they kind of more like cross-contamination, and then they all kind of end up tasting like nothing. Yes, that's a good thing. When you find somebody that likes all the flavors you don't and dislikes all the flavors that you love, and then you guys just share. We actually did that back to my trip again. See, we'll get through it by the end of stream. On Wednesday at YouTube, before we left, they gave us these little trick-or-treat bags. And we all instantly like started digging through them and pulling out what we didn't like and tossing it on the table, and then like taking from everybody else's leftovers. So like, I'm not a fan of Snickers or like plain M&Ms, but other people were, whereas I was grabbing up everybody's Nerds and Laffy Taffy and stuff. It was really kind of funny. Both the times that candy was available, everybody just instantly turned into a big kid. Swedish fish are weird. They're not gummy enough to me. But a dark chocolate Butterfinger would be the bomb. You should write them a letter, Musical. Like, hey, if you can... Uh-oh. Okay. It didn't go too far. If you could have Reese's Butterfingers, why not like a dark chocolate Butterfingers? Reese's Cups are good. Tootsie Pops are kind of an old favorite. Like the actual sucker kind, or the actual, what do they call the little jibs or jubs or nibs or nubs? Well, they're not Pops then, are they? They're just Tootsie Nuggets. Caramel and chocolate together. Peanut butter cups, yeah. I'm not like anti-chocolate, but I'm not a huge fan of like plain chocolate. Twix. Oh, allergic to most candy. That sucks. I think, a lot of people have allergies. I know my cousin found out she was allergic to carrageenan, and that's in a lot of stuff. That's in like tons of stuff. And so now she has to really be careful. Like, even like if you buy cream to make whipped cream at the store, most brands have carrageenan in it. It's a stabilizer. Cotton candy maker that uses any hard candy. Hell yeah. Oh my God. Werther's cotton candy would be ridiculous. Oh my God. I want some of that now. Haribo gummy bars, yes. And the sour bears. I don't know. Somebody Google it. What are the little small Tootsies called? Because I like those, except not the chocolate ones. I like the fruity ones. I can't, I mean, I don't like coffee, so I never thought I would much care for covered, like, espresso beans. I've never tried them, Luke. You're not a fan of coffee, but even you love those. Huh. My mom had got, like, a huge box of them. I shared some with my friend, because I wasn't interested in them. Don't get the sugar-free ones. Uh-oh. Sugar-free stuff is usually kind of weird and gross. Midgies. Okay, it is Midgies. Thank you, Sunburnt and Amethyst. The Albanese Factory. Wait, what is an Albanese? Did I miss that? Or is that a brand? Alright, so... And I'm just going around the edges. I'm getting some of the excess, some of the primer and stuff off. And then I think it might be time for a bathroom break and a hand washing break to get all this acetone residue and dryness off my fingers. Wait, did Beanie pass through camera on his way out of the room? I didn't even notice it. Yeah. Yeah, and don't they at the factory, don't they also sell the mistakes, which sometimes are like a whole bunch of them all like glommed together? The elusive Beanie sighting. Maybe he might be back. Maybe when he comes back, he'll go on his chair. No, I'm just considering. I'm just doing a little bit of extra. Like around the very edges, like I said, where it can be a little bit more stubborn because I wasn't able to do as much filing there. I think maybe before I go do that, we'll fix these two breaks. So you can see here, this little right there. It's not, the whole length of this little thing is not a crack. It's like, you know, when we talk about the layers of your nail, like there are, that's not just like a phrase. There literally are layers of your nail. And this is like where a layer is lifting. And a lot of times this is what you'll get if you bend your nail. It's like you break one layer, but the other layers were able to hold strong. But it is definitely a weak point on your nail. It is definitely a place you can get stuff caught. And it is definitely a place that can turn into a break if you don't take care of it properly. So I think, before I take a break, I think I want to fix that, and I want to fix the one on the other side too. Whoa, is this the start of one? These damn... See right here? Yeah, it is. Oh, it's a crack. Well, I lied, you guys. I apparently did not make it through the entire vacation without a break. Well, it's not a full break. That definitely needs a repair, though. So I'm talking about this little spot right here. And it is actually a crack, because I can feel it right there. So we'll fix that. How are we doing here? This nail looks okay, which I'm surprised, because I remember particularly flexing my ring finger pretty bad. But it looks like it held up okay. Artificial sweeteners can be rough on the digestion. And V squared, hello, and hello, Sakrista. Blah, blah, blah. I'm already getting tongue-tied, and that's not very good, considering I haven't been live that long. But like I mentioned, I am kind of still a little bit tired, a little bit I don't know if I want to call it jet lagged, but it's kind of funny because it is daylight savings time tonight, so I'll go back an hour toward California time, so I'll end up kind of in between. It's really kind of good timing as far as that goes. Non-Jelly Belly candies. Fudge. Amazon reviews can really be a source of hilarity, especially for some of the candy and stuff. Well, and other things too. I'm trying to remember where I left off with my food stories. I was talking about we did breakfast at the YouTube cafeteria and lunch, and then at the Exploratorium they had another mixology station and pizza, some little tiny tacos that I was caught off guard because I did not realize when I took one that they were tuna tacos. And they weren't bad, but I was just like, I was caught off guard and I didn't quite know how to feel about a tuna taco. I still don't know how to feel about it. As days later, I still, I'm like, did I like that or not? I don't know. Then they had some regular tacos with like shredded chicken. And then they had another like vegetarian thing. They were calling it like beet tartare instead of like beef tartare. Can you guys see this little tiny hangnail right here? This is the sort of instance where I actually use my cuticle nipper as a cuticle nipper. All the money on the store at the end. Yeah. Like, hey, you've been looking at candy for a couple hours. You want to buy some candy? Off to dinner. Enjoy your dinner, Anne. Yeah, I was wondering too. I remember looking at one point and I saw it was after my trip. And then I didn't worry about it. I was like, well, we'll see later. There. Goodbye, little hangnail. This is the other nail that we're going to need to patch. So we're going to be doing 3 small, quick patches. And there's the crack right there. It's still actually somewhat held together, but definitely needs some reinforcement in order to prevent it from growing. Oh, maybe I didn't quite get this whole hangnail. Nope. Sorry. Gotta get like up in my own face in order to quite finish that. I thought you might be behind tuna tacos, Moon. Yeah, this nail didn't. This crack on this nail, I've been growing it out for already several weeks. I mean, you can see it's like halfway, well, almost halfway up my free edge now. It started out down here, a little bit below the free edge, and I've managed to prevent it from going any farther into the nail, because little cracks like that are a type of thing that could easily just and get a break across your whole nail. Canned tuna or fresh tuna? I'm assuming it was fresh. I mean, we were right on the bay, so, but I can neither confirm nor deny the tuna's freshness. And then they had some slider burgers, which I wasn't into once I saw that they were cooked kind of medium. Sometimes I can do like a medium steak, but I like my burgers pretty well done. Okay. Get all this dusty gel polish residue and crumbly stuff out of the way and grab another napkin here. And oh crap. I see that my acetone bottle was apparently not fully closed and it went ahead and evaporated. And what's left in the bottom is kind of like a slurry of acetone and glue. And I'm actually going to just pour that out. Or acetone and gel, rather. Because, like, that's the whole purpose of having this bottle, is to clean off the gel from the brush so the brush doesn't dry all hard. And, Oh, this is... I hope this brush is recoverable. It's kind of already a little bit dried. I'm going to pour some fresh acetone in here. I'm just trying to... Come on, get out of here. It's like a glom of... Can you guys see this stringy... I'm just trying to just pull it out of there because there's no reason to leave it in there to re-dissolve in the acetone. Maybe a Q-tip, that'd be good. Okay. Let's see how neat I can be about this. Whoa. That was not very neat. Alright, there we go. Maybe we'll let that set for just a minute. I can clean up my desk a little bit. Okay. From Taco Bell. I mean, they still count as tacos. They're just Taco Bell tacos. Not super authentic. But I mean, they tick all the requirements of a taco. Oh, you're back, Beanie. Did he pass by his chair again and I just didn't notice? Or did he just jump directly to the bed? Why you don't want to sit in your chair today? Like many things, I've just got a little Ziploc bag for the clips to keep them from getting too spread around. And I'm going to be using my usual stuff to patch. ASP Lightless Gel, ASP Gel Cure Spray, my little bottle that's now full of acetone, and you can see the brush is already like dissolving and refanning out. It was all gooey and gross. And that's... In fact, let me take a look at it here. Oh yeah, that'll be good. And that's just because like the gel does not come with a brush, and you need something to apply it. Not that often. Like sometimes when you kind of hold it up and look at it, you can see there's like a settled layer of gel in the bottom. But as long as the acetone that's in there is keeping the brush soft and flexible, I don't usually worry about it. But sometimes, and part of it too is probably, well, the neck doesn't look that dirty. Make sure to close it all the way, because you guys know acetone really can dissolve, evaporate quite quickly, and that's what must have happened there. And sometimes if the neck of the bottle gets gunky, then it's impossible to close tightly enough, but the neck seems clean, so I must have just been not closed it well enough. Shredded chicken burrito. The cinnamon twists. My favorite Taco Bell, and I think I've said it before, is the caramel apple empanada. And it's cheap. It's on the dollar menu. And it is just like an old school McDonald's apple pie. Fried and delicious. I don't know what I'll have for dinner tonight. Should probably start thinking about that. So, let's start with this one. Make sure the whole area that we're going to be dealing with is nice and clean. It's so low, I don't know that I can necessarily completely, I want to say enrobe, because we've just been talking about candy and stuff, but usually, like if I have a break, if it's into the free edge, I'll do the top and the underside of it to even better protect it from like the elements and water and stuff. But I don't think I'll quite be able to do that with this one, because it's so low. If you're having trouble seeing it still, it's right there, like right very on the free edge. So, and again, if I'm going too fast or if I miss anything, there is like a series of patching videos on my channel, but usually the one that would coincide with this is patching a nail with gel only. Get a little bit of that gel on the wiped off brush. You don't want acetone on the brush when you're using the gel. It lives in the acetone to keep it flexible. Dab it on there, and then just very gently lift it just a little bit. Try to get a little bit of gel in between that break, so that when you cure it, it's not just a layer over the top that's holding it. It actually is holding it together. Just like that. Also take this opportunity to get any off your skin, and then smooth it out a little bit. And I usually will go up to the tip and then make sure the transition on the edges is smooth. Nastiest spray in the universe. And that'll cure it in about a minute. And sometimes I'll put opposing pressure, like on the opposite corner. As I pull this up, it kind of pushes the broken section down to just hold it in place while it's curing. Without, like, I mean, you can press on it, but if you press on it with an orange stick while it's curing, you'll cure the orange stick right into the gel. While watching the stream on TV. Ads for bits can be picky. I haven't had any time over the past week, but before I left, they were being really generous, but the couple months before that, they had really been sucking for me. Like only 2 or 3 a day. And I mean, any ads for bits is great. Like I'm complaining, but I'm not complaining too hard. Because I mean, it's basically free money. And I know there's not like unlimited free money. But I'm always disappointed when I can't get at least a few ads. Because I'll usually check throughout the day if I have time. If I'm just sitting in front of my computer, I'll keep a tab open. And, you know, with multiple monitors, have a whatever I'm working on the other monitor. So, same thing for this one. We've got our napkin. Wipe off the brush. Get a little bit of gel. And get it right in there. And like I said, this one doesn't appear to be a full break yet, so I'm not doing the lifting part. And it is a little farther up the edge. So I am going to reinforce the bottom, even though this isn't a break. But that will help to just reinforce it and hopefully keep it from turning into a break. Like, this is all like damage control. Like, it's not ideal now, but it could get worse if it turns into a full break. And we don't want that. And again, try not to get gel on your skin. You don't want to cure your nail to your skin. And when you do gel on the underside of your nail, make sure to get the spray on the underside of your nail. And then we'll do this last one here. And I'm actually really pleased with how this one is growing out. In a couple more weeks, I'll probably just trim it down so that we can get rid of it. Get rid of the patch, rather, I should say. And since this one is a full break, this is another one where we'll be doing the little bit of lifting to try and get the gel in there. Am I gonna cut my nails to get rid of the breaks? I just answered that. I mean, some of them it's gonna take a while. Like this one here, it's just barely at the free edge. I would want it at least to get past my fingertip before I trimmed it. But yeah, this one here, it's already grown out. It's about right here. So I don't want my nails quite that short yet. But I also I appreciate patches, but sometimes I lose patience with patches. So it becomes a battle of, would I rather do another patch or would I rather trim my nails? And at a certain point, I would rather trim my nails. And that point will probably be in a week or two. So again, just a little nudge. Let the gel get into that crack. And that's why I kind of glom it on there at first, so that it has enough to actually flow around a little bit. And then smooth it out underside. Also, if you don't do like the underside, and especially like with an actual break like this, the actual side of the nail, you can still end up catching it on stuff, and if you catch it hard enough, the patch will fail, and then you'll have to redo it or hope that it hasn't already resulted in a hole break. Especially the side. That's where it, I mean, kind of obvious to say, but obviously if it fails, it's not going to fail on the inside of the break. It's going to fail from this edge inward, not from the inside outward. And I do try to, if I have a lot left on the brush, wipe it before I stick it back into its little jar, to prevent the acetone from getting too full of gel and sticky. But a little bit is inevitable. I mentioned a little bit early, Dino, I'm definitely going to do the 12 Days of Christmas on stream, but I'm really going to try this year to be kind of organized and ahead of the game. It would be really awesome if I could get them all done this month and just have them ready to go for the 12 Days of Christmas. And a lot of times, like last year, I did do it a little bit earlier. If I could be ready to do it on like December 1st, that would maybe be like ideal. But we'll see. I don't want to be like overly ambitious, but I do want to be on top of it this year. And so I don't know if it'll be all in a row, because one of the things that I hate most is when I wait until the last minute. Some of them are fabulous and I only get to wear them for a day. So if I could get them done ahead of time and have a chance to enjoy them, that would really be cool. Sometimes you just got to get the pics while you can. At least it's not a real dog. That's true. Come on, be like, oh, look what we found, honey. So after it's cured, dry to the touch, and like I said, that takes about a minute. The blue side of the buffer, just lightly. Again, just on the gel part, not on your nail part. Carefully, gently, etc. Making sure the transitions are smooth and all that. And the finish is smooth. Is this? Yeah, this one's cured too. And then I'm going to do lightly the same thing with the pink side of this buffer. And you can use like a regular nail file if you don't have a buffer. I mainly keep the buffer on hand just for helping with my patches. Because I used to really hate when I would do patches and they were visible through the finished manicure because I had a poor transition, or I had poor technique and they weren't smooth. And then leave the dust on there and then just, okay, apparently I need a new Q-tip. Give it a swipe with acetone, and I feel like the dust kind of melts back in there and the whole thing is nice and damn near invisible. But you've got that protection on your problem areas. And again, I don't generally recommend reinforcing all your nails with gel, or at least not with this type of gel, because it does get really hard and it actually can make your nails brittle. A gel base coat or something I think would probably be a better option if you wanted to do that. When you close your gel, I usually squeeze it and then suck back in air to try and clear out the nozzle. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it'll get gel in there. So if you like squish it and then suck in air, usually you can clean it out a little bit, wipe it off if necessary. And it's another thing. I mean, all nail polish stuff pretty much. But make sure the lid is tight. Alright, close all that stuff up. I'm going to take a super quick break. Oh, cool. It's always nice, and when I'm like streaming and everybody's like posting stuff in Discord, and then I know I have stuff to look forward to looking at later. I'll be called near on mobile now. Oh, that's fine, Caters. We were just finishing up the couple patches, so our patches are all done on these 3 nails. Excuse me, and I'm gonna take a quick potty break and hand washing break because we still are. I mean, like, well, look at right here. I mean, that's all just acetone dryness. Oh, that's great to hear, yo. Yeah, I'm really pleased with. I mean, when I first discovered patches, I was pleased, but like my evolution of patching my nails, I'm really pleased with because I feel like this is pretty. I mean, that didn't take very long to do 3 nails. It's much less steps than what I used to go through, but it really, I mean, it really pays off in keeping little problems like this from turning into huge problems. Gotta go hanging out with a friend back from Africa after a few years apart. Have fun, Musical. Like I said, I just hung out with a bunch of friends I hadn't seen in a long time, so I completely get that. You gotta take those opportunities when you can. Let's see. Let's find you guys some music. I think. Oops, no, not that. Oops. Oops, how often a stream do I say that? And let's get our BRB. What do we have here? 5:35. So what time did I end up starting? Like 3 something? So we've been going for like 2+ hours. So that's not too bad. I'm going to try to be back in about 10 minutes. By about 5:45. We will just finish doing a little bit of cleanup on these nails, and then I'll show you guys a little bit of swag. We'll go into this backpack here, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I got on my trip if you're interested to see that. Some of it's just like basic stuff, but it's cool because it was free. But some of it is some cool stuff, and yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And here's your music. I'll return shortly. I have returned. Oh, well, that didn't take very long at all. Fastest break ever. Alright. So, a little bit of dryness, but I don't... I inspect my nails pretty carefully after gel and stuff. And actually, I think some of this may still be a little bit of, primer or base coat residue. But your nails should not look damaged after you take off a gel polish. Or you're taking it off wrong, or it's a really bad gel. Let me just give my cuticles a little bit of attention. Sorry if this is cringy for anyone. I feel like they need to be pushed back a bit, though. And now is as good a time as any. I gave them just a quick scrub with my Zoya sugar scrub. And, after you wash your hands or after exposure to water, your cuticles are a little softer, easier to push back. Like I said, there may be a little bit of residue. You can kind of feel that if you run your tool, right over your nail. And a little bit toward the cuticle too are some of the more stubborn spots of residue. Because that's another spot, like the sidewalls, that's hard to get into and necessarily file. And sometimes I use the pointed end to do a little bit of additional, but always gently. If you have a metal tool, always gently. So I'm gonna finish my food recap while I do this, and then we can just talk about swag once I start digging through my backpack. Trying to think where I left off. I think I left off at the Exploratorium food. Breakfast on Wednesday was pretty much the same as breakfast on Tuesday, a couple different items, a different kind of sausage, different kind of vegetable, eggs, OJ. Nothing super fancy, but again, pretty good. And then for lunch, sometimes the last meal of the event can be kind of sketchy. One year they served us box lunches, which were, I swear to God, literally inedible. The bread was rock hard. They were just nasty. Nobody ate them. There were so many wasted and left over. And I think everybody gave, such negative feedback that thankfully that has never been repeated. But they did have some really nice, you could put it in a box lunch and take it if you had an earlier flight. Sandwiches and some chips. And, a lot of times they'll just have, what I call them before, urns of drinks, whether that's orange juice or water or liquor, and regular cups. For this one, they had, more bottled options or some cans of pop and stuff. But the sandwiches were, really good. There was, a crispy chicken sandwich. There was, what do you call it? It was just, a sandwich with a big old slab of mozzarella in it. That was delicious. Oops. Trying to think, there was some other, I think there was a vegetarian one, because there's always vegetarian stuff. And probably a dessert too. I don't remember what the dessert was. I didn't really feel like I needed dessert, and a lot of times it's brownies or some kind of basic cookie that I'm not super interested in, especially when I have a bag of Halloween candy. So then those of us to go to both events, you have to contribute in more than one product on the forum, because YouTube has kind of made its event separate from the Google one the past several years. And but there are quite a few people that go to both, so they actually, I was wondering how they would handle it. They set up a shuttle, so we went from San Bruno, and the shuttle took us down to the Santa Clara Marriott, which is where the Google event was getting going. Hi, cute Kitsune. And hello, Hers-chan. And that's where things kind of started to go awry. They had a registration tent set up out in the parking lot, and it was so crowded in there, and it was so hectic, and there were people that were like directing you and stuff, but I got there with one of my friends from YouTube, and they were like, well, you can either go on this line and get registered, or you can get this line and get your hotel key. Doesn't matter what you do first. And the hotel key room was shorter, so we get in that line, and we get up to the front, and they're like, oh, I don't have your hotel key. You would have to go up to the hotel front desk. And it's like, okay, well, so we just stood in this line for no reason. We get in the other line, the registration line, and it's just crawling. We're like, what is taking so long? And as we get closer to the front, we're able to hear, like, what's going on. And this one, Julia, it's, oh goodness, can I remember the proper term? Hyponychia, I believe. It's just excess pigment, basically. I have had it looked at by a doctor. It's always been there. It doesn't get any wider. It's just the way it is. So we get up to the front of the line and we start hearing, like, oh, the printer isn't working, or oh, this person isn't on the list, or oh, the system crashed. Have them enter their last name again. They're sitting here printing the badges on site. This is the 6th year I've been to these events. They've never printed the badges on site. Why would you have an event for several hundred? I mean, I'm talking like 500, 600, 700 people and be printing the badges on site. That is just an accident waiting to happen. Thank you, Hers Chan. I did it because it was easy to deal with on vacation when they have us up so early in the morning. One less thing to hassle with. So we finally get up to the front of the line, and they're like, okay, enter your name here. And I enter my name, and it's like, registration not found. It's like, oh, great. So they've got a hard copy list, and they pull out the hard copy list, and he looks it up. He's like, you're not on here. You don't exist. Ha ha ha. It's like, ha ha, not funny. And so he's like looking for somebody to help. And so I kind of grab the list and look for my friend, and she's not on there either. So this lady comes over. She's like, hi, what's going on? How can I help? And he's like, neither one of these guys are on the list. And I'm like, we both came from the YouTube event. Is that possibly partly of the problem? And she's like, it could be. She's like, just come over here and I'll help get you straightened out. And we were telling her about the room key stuff. She's like, that's, I can help get that straightened out too. So, I mean, the people were really helpful, apologetic, all that stuff. I didn't blame them because I'm sure it wasn't their fault, but it was somebody's fault who made that decision, and whoever that somebody was an idiot. So eventually she was like, well, I don't know, the badges are way behind, the printer's down again. I can print you off of this other list, but we can't print it right now. If worse comes down to it, just keep your YouTube badges on at the reception tonight. Otherwise, we might have these ready at the reception, or if they're ready early, we can have them delivered to your room. Yeah, it was underprepared. And there was this one guy, and he was like running between the multiple stations and trying to like, IT troubleshoot kind of thing, and I felt so bad for him. So I was like, whatever. The lady did get us our room keys, so I got up to my room and I could just chill out. And then my friend messaged me. She was like, well, your badge is ready, but you have to come down to the tent. Like, the whole we're going to bring it to your room thing didn't happen. So I went down and got it from the tent and whatever. So that ordeal was over. But I just thought it was the silliest thing. And then they were handing out the backpacks and the shirts. But instead of being prepared like the YouTube event had the backpack was pre-packed with your shirt, with the size you'd pre-notified them that you wanted, with your name on it. This, you had to remember what size you ordered and request that separately from the backpack. And I found out later they were also supposed to be handing out the schedules, which in previous years had just been printed on the back side of the badge, because isn't that convenient? You got your badge, you wonder what's going on, just look on the back. No, these are being handed out separately, and a whole bunch of people missed getting their schedules because they were not just in the backpack with everything else. But then the evening event started, and that was a really nice event. It was held just at the hotel, but it was over like a couple of their various rooms and out onto like a patio. Yeah, super unprepared. And I mean, I just felt grateful because, I mean, a lot of these people, this was a worldwide summit. So a lot of these people don't even speak English and they're having to look for interpreters and deal with all this nonsense. And there was all kinds of food at this evening event. There was sushi, there was salad, there were fish tacos, there was a bunch of different spaghetti options. There was stuff to go on top of the spaghetti and sauces. There was crispy pork taco stuff. There was another mixologist station and another like liquid nitrogen drink. And I discovered after I was sitting down, I started seeing these people that were walking around with these bags of candies. I'm like, well, where are they coming from? And after I finished eating, I went over there with I asked my other friend Dan. I'm like, have you seen the candy bar? He's like, that sounds silly. I'm like, no, come over here with me to this candy bar. Let's go get some candy. And we get over there, and he's all, whatever, who wants candy? And then he sees the table. He's like, ooh, Pop Rocks. It's this long, I would say like a large, long card table size table, but sturdier, covered with like big glass tubes full of bubble gum. They look like fish tanks, but you reach inside them and they're full of candy. All these different candy, rock candy on sticks, giant big old suckers, and these bags, and you can pick a bag and just start scooping whatever candy you want into this bag. And so it's a mob scene. It's all these adults acting like absolute children over candy. And we get our bags and we're like shuffling forward a foot at a time, very slowly, very crowded. And, ooh, look over there. I can't wait till we get over there. I need some of that. And we're going along and I see this big old box of Sugar Babies, which is my mom's favorite. And it's just sitting there. It's like the only thing that's still in the box. I'm looking around. I'm like, you think I could take this whole box? It's like 1 pound of Sugar Babies. And Dan's like, I don't know about that. And I'm like, well, took it and stuck it under my arm. And then the lady that's like refilling the stuff comes around and she's refilling some other stuff. And I'm like, she didn't tell me to put it back. It must be okay. And just so much stuff, gummy candy, gummy ropes, filled licorice, mini Reese's cups, Swedish fish. I don't even know. Lickamade, Pop Rocks. So much candy. Okay, I'm done with my cuticles. I'm done scraping off excess. I've got my California mango here. I like applying it under the nail, like a big old drop. And then I'm going to keep talking about food. And there was other desserts there too, but a lot of times, like I mentioned before, it's like brownies or stuff I'm not super interested in. So then the next morning was super early, and then breakfast was at the event center. I finally got some bacon. There was no bacon at YouTube any of the days. So if you put enough, it'll kind of like leak out the side of the underside and down to your cuticle. And then you can like rub it in on the top too. And just like rub it in all around. Good for your nails. I'm going to sit here and rub for a minute. So they had more eggs and bacon. And I mean, there's pastries and stuff too. All kinds of coffee, tea options, and orange juice and water with cucumbers or pineapple or whatever in it. What did we have for lunch that day? Oh, lunch was kind of weird because there was kind of a weird variety of stuff. And like one of the things I thought looked really good turned out to be too hot and spicy for me. There was some really good salmon though, and some really good like chicken stuff. And then for dinner that evening, that would have been Thursday evening, we went over to one of the on-site restaurants, and they had a make your own pizza station. So they had like, a buffet of toppings, and you could, whatever your pizza, and then they had like an oven to send them through. And you went inside and there was macaroni and cheese and this big like roast, like a potato salad on one side. And then there was something, I didn't get a good look at it on the other side of that. And then there was another section that was like some other stuff, and a dessert section and more bars. And that was really fun. And then breakfast the next morning was pretty much the same, except not bacon, back to sausage. And then lunch was again like kind of a grab and go option for people that might need to leave, except I thought YouTube did like the grab and go sandwiches better. I wasn't a huge fan of the sandwiches. So just to give you guys a look after a nice oiling, this is what your nails should look like after a gel manicure. Your nails should not look wrecked. You know, dry, yeah, that's going to happen because you're working with acetone. That can be resolved. You can rehydrate your nails and stuff, but there shouldn't be, you know, you can see as I'm flexing them here, there's not pits and weird, you know, chunks out of the nail plate or anything like that. Your nails should still be in good condition if you take your gel polish off properly. I just know a lot of people get so worried because, like I said, gel polish kind of has a bad reputation, but I really do think it's because of either like poor application or in many cases poor removal, because the salons just get way too aggressive with the filing thing and those little Dremel things. And like my friend had vertical divots in her nail because I think they would go in and like do it too much and do it to her nail. And I was like, you have to stop going to whatever salon is doing this to your nails because they're jacking your nails up. Totally. So we're done with nails. We are going to dig into my backpack. I have not unpacked it since last night. I only pulled out a couple essentials. And we're going to look at some of the swag. If you guys are interested. If you're not interested, that's understandable. I mean, it's nothing like amazing. But I mean, it's some cool stuff, I think. Yeah, and it really is like an impatience thing. I mean, this did take me a couple hours. But part of that was I did not have a good file. I was underprepared with that. And part of it was I was also chatting and talking with you guys. I would say 20 minutes each hand would be a good estimate. 5 minutes for filing, like 1 minute of filing each nail. If you had like a good file where you were not just like taking your slow ass time, and then like 15 minutes of soaking. Well, maybe a little bit longer than that. And then some scraping for each nail too. So, but yeah, if you take your time, if you're patient, there's no reason that it has to be a horrible thing. So this actually, I usually take this with me. This is a previous, I don't remember where I got it. It's just like they might have mailed it to me, or it might have been a previous Summit. It's just a nice water bottle. It has a really good seal on it. And I stick the carabiner on it, and then I just like strap it to my luggage. You can take it like empty through security and then fill it up once you're on the other side. Which is convenient. And this bag, oh my god, it's so full. This bag is actually something that I got at the very first Summit that I went to, and I think you can kind of see how freaking stuffed, packed full it is. I mean, the zippers are like tight, and they gave us these, and every year is a little bit different. They don't always give like ridiculous swag, but the very first year they gave this backpack with a Chromebook inside of it. So that was the best thing I ever got at any Summit so far. Let's see what we have in here. These must have been from the, do I have the scissors? They're just little. I think they're headphones. Yeah, this was from the Google event because it's Product Experts branded. And the rebranding of the program is fairly recent. It used to be considered top contributors, and they rebranded it to be a little clearer, which I agree that it is, because when I would tell people I was going to the Top Contributor Summit, they would always kind of assume that it was for my YouTube channel. And it's really, although I got started with it all because of my channel, it's completely unrelated to my channel. It's all from my help forum contributions. There, now we can get a look. I think these are just like a little pair of headphones or some shit. Yeah, and part of the reason I think they gave these out is because so they have a bank of translators for all the international people. And this year they actually used an app. I didn't even know there was a phone app. And I thought the name was the most stupidest name I ever heard. My Holistic Sugar Babies, yeah. What was it? Translatify or something. I was like, is that the best you could come up with, really? So yeah, here's my illicit. I mean, it's 1 pound. In case you didn't know, delicious candy coated milk caramels. So, yeah, if these are like sugar daddies on a stick, except they're just little nuggets. The YouTube top YouTube contributors product experts summit and the Google product expert summit. I contribute on the YouTube help forums, and I also contribute on the AdSense help forums. And this is the 6th year that I've gone out to California. It's not always 2 events a year, but the past couple years, YouTube has split off from the main event and done their own. So these are going to my mom. I might have some of them because they're gigantic, but yeah. I think they gave us this because they gave us a backpack. It's like I think it's like a luggage tag. Let's open it up and see. Google branded luggage tag. Yeah. Then you got your little. So that's, I mean, I don't, since I usually carry on my luggage, I don't even usually use a luggage tag. We've got various food. What is this? Toasted coconut waffles. Oats and honey bar. Cool mint chocolate. Jerky. And some are like, they'll have breaks, other than breakfast and lunch, and, they'll let you go out and grab a couple snacks and may or may not eat them. So they'll just get stuck in my bag, and it's like, well, I don't want to just leave them in the hotel room or something. I guess they're coming home with me. Easier to eat than the stick ones. Yes, and you don't end up with a soggy stick at the end that you're chewing on. Chocolate brownie. What's this? Oh, it's a pop socket. The headphones and the luggage tag and the pop socket all came in. Oh, there's more food in here too. Come on. Oh, and this too. This is cool. This is one of my favorite things this year. I haven't used it yet. It's a water bottle that like smooshes down and then can like let's see if I can do it. It's expandable. It comes out even more than this, I think. There we go. So it's like expandable and then collapsible. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that also came in. I'm trying to get it out here. Oh, because it's crammed so tightly. And then I need a tool. I used the straps to tie it in a knot because I had to cram it in there so tightly. It's a backpack. Google product experts. But I mean, it's a decent size bag. And so like I said, those things were in there. And then this little front part, which is like a little, it's got pockets and stuff in there. They had tickets. And I thought it was kind of weird the way they did it because most times the bar is just open. But they had one evening where you needed tickets for cocktails, but not for beer and wine. So the people that were drinking beer and wine were pretty much giving away their cocktail coupons. So the coupons were almost useless because like I had 2 coupons and I ended up using 4 coupons. And there was also a coupon to make your own swag. And you could do a mug, or you could do socks, or you could do a tote bag. So I designed, can you see, this tote bag. So, let me get the handle out of the way. You could pick like the logo, you could pick like the border, and you could pick like the other little extra things. So, I mean, it's like when I go, it's like I gotta get all my free shit you got to. I mean, you don't got to, but you got to. The free stuff is so fun, even the little free stuff. These are just about crumbs. I probably ought to toss these out. These are from the plane trip going out there when they come around with the little basket. Some Ritz Crisp Thins. Coconut Crisps. That's my own snack mix, which I didn't end up eating much of. I have a mix of nuts that I take when I go traveling, and then a mix like dried fruit. I think this was also from the plane. Snack mix. And then this little drink cozy. Oh, and look, there's a little piece of candy just fell out of the drink cozy. This was in the little bag that I got from YouTube, which I think is also, yeah. So there were these bags filled with candy and like the drink cozy. Maybe I'll show you guys too. How can I? Okay. Let's do like this. Smooth backpack. Let's see what's in here. It's like a Halloween haul. A couple of these things were from the other, I think these Junior Mints and the Fun Strips. Oh, and the big ol' sucker were from the candy bar. I don't know if they were differently flavored, but I was hoping this was like blue raspberry flavored. So those things were from the candy bar. I don't know where were these in here? Got some little, oh, I need to move this stuff too. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Too much swag and candy and snacks. It's fun just going through it. And some of this is like not even stuff I want, so some of it I'll definitely share with like my mom or whoever wants some. What else do we have here? I think those were also, so the Junior Mints, the Fun Dip, the Big Pop, and the Abba Zaba were from the candy bar. And then they were like, well, these were kind of dumb, but I grabbed them. Maybe one of my nieces would like these sunglasses. They were in the trick-or-treat bag. There were a bunch of, I think these are like temporary tattoos. So, I mean, like a whole bunch of different, oh, I got a bunch of that guy. Halloween themed temporary tattoos. And yes, I'm sitting here sorting them into piles by what character they are. Because why wouldn't I? It's just a little bit of OCD, you guys. God, I got a ton of him. How'd that happen? God, how many of these do I have? All right, is that all of them? I think so. So we've got, let's see, we've got some Nerds over here. Nerds. Laffy Taffy. These are bottle caps. Smarties, or Sweet Tarts. Sweet Tarts and Smarties are like the same things, basically, right? Pretty much. Other kind of Smarties or Sweet Tarts. More Laffy Taffy. Twix. We've got some Twix. We've got a couple squares of Ghirardelli chocolate. We've got some Whoppers. We have a variety of Dum-Dums. We've got some gum. A little random Three Musketeers bar. Reese's. A Kit Kat. I don't know how this Hershey's is still in here because I don't like Hershey's. I should have given that away. Some more gum. Yeah. A bunch of stuff. And I'm making room because we're not quite done yet. Okay. So all that. Oh, one more guy. And then rock candy. Yes, it's as tall as my head. It's like a gigantic, and this was the original bag that all the other candy was in, but I had some extra like Ziploc bags, and I thought that would be a little sturdier and a little easier to pack and manage. Oh yeah, I forgot about these things. These also got my badges. I've got, let's see, where's these things. So this is my product experts one, and then this one was my YouTube one. And then the YouTube one did have like the schedule on the back, and the other one didn't. And you basically got to wear these all the time, especially security kind of over all the campuses was ramped up after there was that shooting at YouTube. And like, it's kind of subtle, but having been there before, it was like I realized looking around, I was like, wow, there is literally a security dude at every single door just chilling there. And they were watching us to make sure that we kept our badges on and stuff. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't super intrusive. The one security guys at the party I made friends with, because when we were going back to our room to drop off the candy bags, my friend Dan was teasing me. He was like, you guys probably like to go get some candy. I was like, they can't go over there. I was like, would you like some of my candy? Would you like one of these sour gummy skulls? And the one security guy was like, yeah. I gave him some candy. The other security guy was like, no. So I also, I forgot about these. I got stickers. I don't know what I would stick these on, really, but I got them for free. And I accumulated quite a many of these, more than were in my own bag. And the sticks fell off of most of them. So they were attached to sticks, and it was like a little, this way. Boo! So we've got Boo. We've got a witch hat. We've got a couple Happy Halloweens. A couple of loose sticks that used to be attached to some shit. We got let's see if I can. We got a Bride of Frankenstein. Oh, now I got stuck on my glasses. I thought I had at least one more of those. Oh yeah. We got the vampire mouth. Almost worth it if you melt it in your mouth instead of chewing it up. Yeah. I can see that. It's not a horrible chocolate, but it's also not like the best chocolate. We got these things at the first day of the Google Summit, which was like they'd be like, raise your paddle if, you've been to more than whatever summits. But I also liked it because it was a fan, and sometimes it does get stuffy in there. So that was cool. So we got all that stuff. And then here, okay, I've got this. I had separated them into regular candy and then like gummy candy. So in this bag, let's get you some air so you can move around a little bit, candy. We've got these little things. They're like filled licorice. I don't know what the white stuff is they're filled with. We've got little candy ropes. We've got blue raspberry. I don't remember what shape this is supposed to be, but it's blue raspberry. And this is a decent amount. Then there's a rope still in there. There's a couple straggler pieces of gummy candy in here. Spree candy corn. What are those? Got the bananas and the oranges and the limes. The hell are those candies called? I don't forget. Gigantic Smarties. What is this? Ice Cube. I think that's like chocolate and hazelnut. I think that's destined to go to Mom also. Got a big old, what is this hard candy thing here? Just like all kinds of stuff. There's some margarita flavored Jelly Bellies in here. It's a lot of candy. And again, this is like a big ass bag of candy. So that's like my freaking food haul. Runts. Yes, Amethyst Kitty, Runts. And there were so many more. There were cinnamon little gummy bears. Like I said, there were the Swedish Fish. There were what are they called? Jubs? They're like little, very small. I was unfamiliar with that candy. I didn't get any of the small Reese's because I knew I had big Reese's, and big Reese's are usually superior to the small Reese's. Plus, I was like running out of room in my bag. Gumballs, which I'm not a huge gumball person because they just lose their flavor too quickly, but just like so much stuff. And then I got a couple more things to show you guys. That was the backpack from Google. This is the backpack from YouTube, which is even bigger, and it's super padded, and I could not roll it up and smush it in my other backpack, so I had to smush it into my carry-on luggage. And some of these snacks came in here because this has like a whole bunch of pockets, and one of the pockets, like right in the top here, is kind of shallow. It seems just perfect for being just a snack pocket. And YouTube had these ready for us with our shirts inside, with a name tag on them that had like a little personalized thing on the back about thank you for your contributions and here's how much you contributed. And it's kind of cool. I mean, I don't even know that I have anything to use this with because I don't have like an extra battery pack. But this part right here, it's got a USB on the underside, and then on the inside there's a cord that you can like attach to the battery, and then when you're out and about you can just like plug it in here. And I also, and that's a pretty big, it's actually quite a bit bigger than the Google one. It's like side by side. What am I? On camera. Backpack's too large. Hopefully you saw that. Backpacks. And then, and this was, I mean, it's smushy, but this was a challenge to get in my bag. This is one of the reasons I had so much trouble closing my suitcase, is I got a pillow. So we were, like, when we went into the meeting space, they had, like, these hard chairs, and they had pillows on them. And the very first day, I was like, hey, you guys, think I can cram one of those pillows into my backpack? And we were like, ha ha. I'm like, no, I'm not really going to do it. But then the last day, they were like, you see these pillows? You can all take them. And it reminded me in hindsight of the candy bar, because people just lost their shit, and everybody was going for, there were 3 colors, so everybody was going for a pillow in their favorite color. And I mean, this is a decent sized pillow, but I mean, it's smushy, but it was still, I mean, just look at this pile of shit, and I had to squeeze this into already full luggage, mind you. So yeah, that's my swag haul. I hope you guys enjoyed. Ooh, I completely knocked that askew. And just to return once more to the nails, my nails have pretty much absorbed all that oil that I slathered them in. Oh, excuse me if that burp was audible. Oh no, there's like sour candy sugar all over the desk now. But yeah, you can see that, actually, what is, oh, that's just a little bit stuck under, another thing of sour candy sugar stuck under my nail. But you can see, again, no damage. They're all good. Yeah, so I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me while I was soaking off my my gel polish. Let's see if there's somewhere I can send you lovely people. As far as a stream tomorrow, right now I am planning on it. I do need to, the manicure that we just took off today, I need to get that edited and uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. And then the live stream of that will probably go up Monday. So this live stream will probably not hit YouTube until Tuesday, I think would be. Yeah. But yeah, I do plan on streaming tomorrow, normal time, as long as I have that editing done. And I will probably do a stream maybe Tuesday, because I would like to get a manicure back on my nails. I do feel like they could use a couple good days of like intensively being oiled without any polish on them after, you know, while the gel polish doesn't damage my nails, I do feel like it's a little bit rough on them. You know what I mean? just because there's so much acetone and stuff involved in the removal. Let's see what we got going on here as far as somewhere to send you guys. What time is it? It's 6 something. I don't see Jerry on. I wonder, I'll have to check Discord when I'm done. I wonder what's up with that. I think oh, this might company while you're cooked. You're welcome. You are definitely welcome. What is this? Okay, apparently my following page is out of date. They are no longer live. Okay, maybe that's why it wasn't showing Jerry either. No, it's still not showing Jerry. Where are we here? Alright, it looks like they're just getting started. And I think you guys, especially my Hollow Knight fans, will enjoy this. Because I only see a couple of my creative people going, and not anyone that particularly needs viewers dumped on them. But I know a lot of you guys are Hollow Knight fans. Not like super good friends with this particular person, so I'm just gonna host rather than raid. But if you like what you see, there'll be a little button. You can head on over to the channel and drop a follow. Thank you again for hanging out with me. It really made what could have been kind of a tedious process very entertaining, and it was fun talking with you guys about my trip. And yeah, hope I'll keep posted in the Discord, of course. Anybody, I think most of you guys, all my regulars, are in Discord. Oh, Sophia, hello! But we are actually just ending. We took off my gel, and just finished going through my my swag for my trip. But anybody that's not in Discord, if you really want to stay on top of my midweek streams, and like today when I was late, I announced that in Discord. Check out my Discord. And I'm going to send you guys all over to Axe2U playing Hollow Knight. Found out how to catch one. Yeah, Sophia, I mean, the Twitch notifications can be sketchy, but I also try to remember to always post on Discord and also on Twitter, and you'll see below the player, my 2 firmly scheduled days will show up in your local time. So I hope you can catch another stream soon. And thanks to everybody else. I hope I'll see you again next time, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.